Well, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about the latest Venom installment. Mike has a deadly tale to share with us, and Pat's going to show us something that could potentially put a massive drag on your wallet. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space by Xcellar Comics. I am, of course, one of the regulars, Kevin. All the other regulars are here today, which is awesome. First up, Patrick.
Hey, everybody. I think I'm slightly irregular, but whatever.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Hey. And then, of course, Mike is here, right here.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Hey.
What's up? Good morning. And then last but not least, it seems like it's more irregular than regular. We have Karen in the background with us today. Nice. Yeah, I'm just going to come out of the gate blazing with the Rivals comment, okay? Mm-hmm. Marvel Rivals is a great video game. It's totally appropriate that Karen would laugh at that, too, because this is a Karen comment, because the intro made me think about it. I cannot wait for the day, and I'm assuming it'll probably happen during some holiday, where Karen's at my house, and we're all playing Rivals together, and Karen hops on Rivals because Storm is one of the best characters on Rivals. She's arguably the best duelist right now because of her team up with Human Torch. She's ridiculous. So she's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see Karen grab a controller and play Storm.
Sorry.
Yep, that didn't mute, Pat.
I know. I hit the wrong button. At least you didn't see me clear my throat.
That's true.
Early. I was up at 5:30. Come on.
That was awesome. I was actually worried for a second we had the same problem that we had on Cover Combat, that you muted and it didn't work. But
yeah,
you accidentally turning off your audio instead of your video instead of your audio was awesome.
I told you I was a regular. Sorry.
You did. You warned everybody.
If we ever have a clip show, that's going to be my favorite one.
So, Karen, are you in for when that happens during a holiday? You gonna grab a controller and be Storm for a minute on Marvel Rivals? Talking about video clips, I'm gonna take a video when that happens. I cannot wait to see Karen pull off some Storm moves in Marvel Rivals. But anyway, no one wants to hear about Marvel Rivals, although it may happen a couple more times today. Who knows?
I guarantee it's gonna happen again.
You're probably right.
Because I teased I have something to talk about Marvel Rivals. So
that's right. I can't wait for that. Stay tuned. All right, let's get started then. All right, that was actually something that I wanted to add in my tease. I failed. Dadgummit. See, I always plan y'all's teases without planning out my tease. That's why I kind of strike myself. It's probably a common occurrence for everyone or it is a common occurrence. I don't know whether everyone notices commonly, but how I crack myself up during the intro for miscellaneous reasons. And that's what happened today. I noted again that I didn't prepare my own teas. But one of my teases was going to be that aside from Venom, I have shows that you may not have ever heard of, but you've definitely heard of the stars. I've talked about that over the years many times, how it blows me away when these random movies that I've never heard of have these big actors and actresses in them. So I got a couple of those in store today. And to start off on that trend, I love the title of this movie. This might be my latest title love, because I just discovered this as of late, is Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Bottom, or Foggy Mountain. Foggy Bottom. That's a SpongeBob reference, right? Foggy Bottom, yeah.
That sounds like a Hardy Boy book title. The Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
Yeah. But Please Don't Destroy. Isn't that a weird header?
Yeah.
So crazy, right? Anyway, I found this gem on Peacock. I do believe this is from 2023. So this is old, I guess, as far as content is concerned. Everybody knows about this already, except for people like me. And Pat, did you know about it?
Something in the back of my head is familiar, but that's about it.
Mike, did you ever hear this?
No.
All right. Karen, did you watch this? Okay. Anyway, so that's the first thing I want to talk about is who's in this movie. Okay, I'm not going to go through the entire cast, just the ones that are of note based on everything I'm saying. There's a bunch of people in this. There's a ton of people in this. But the ones of note to me personally is this is narrated by John Goodman. And it's actually John Goodman in the way that he's narrating as himself. Like he tells you part ways through the movie that if you haven't been able to tell yet, he's famous actor John Goodman. This is a comedy adventure kind of, thing. I'm gonna mash this to tell you what this movie is. I'm gonna mash together The Goonies and Superbad. Okay. Have we had a lot of Goonie type movies lately, shows and movies? Well, we got
Seems like it, yeah.
What do we got? What's the latest Star Wars installment? Skeleton Crew.
Right.
There was one other one that gave you a Goonies feel too that I thought I mentioned recently. What was that, Mike?
I don't remember.
It was definitely another one. Anyway, another big actor. I don't know if you call him an actor. I don't really think of him as an actor. I think it was a late night talk show host. But Conan O'Brien is the father of the tall, skinny, lanky, redheaded kid here. So that was a good cast. And then lastly, and another character, I do believe that it's not actually a character. He plays himself. Is Mike? No. What's that kid's name? You can see him in the poster there. He's in the back right corner with his arms up from Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things.
What's that kid's name, Pat? This is your job you're my fact checker.
Jeez.
It's been like 2 years since Stranger Things has been on. Everybody's forgotten.
Has it been 2 years?
Seems like it.
Isn't there a new season of that coming out?
Soon, yeah. Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin. Thanks, Karen.
What? I looked it up. I mean, I remembered it.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, I just looked it up right
Well,
here.
Karen put it up on the screen.
Oh, I didn't see. Because I was looking it up.
Yeah,
I knew Dustin. I was trying to come up with his real name.
Yeah, Gatton Matarazzo. Anyway,
Not remembering that ever.
so this is a ridiculous, like I said, Goonies adventure, and I say super bad because it gives you that kind of super bad kind of really immature humor. But I will say, because I'm not a big fan of vulgarity, gratuitousness, although I could appreciate it more back in the day. I don't really, it doesn't bother me, but I don't really enjoy it. That this isn't that vulgar. So I don't want to make you liken that with it, but it does give you that feel. These kids are like super bad kids, going on an adventure, of course, to they need to come up with a lot of money. Why do they need to come up with a lot of money? To save their dad's store, I think. One of the kids is going to take over. Conan O'Brien is a sporting goods store owner, and his son, he wants him to take over the store, and then the store is going to go under. So they come up with this plan to save the store, and the only way they can get a lot of money is to find this treasure. You can see it in the poster there. It's an idol on the right hand side of the bottom of the poster there.
Kids are the best treasure hunters. You know that? Every single one of them is a treasure hunter.
That's true. So they go on a treasure adventure in this, and it's fine. I was hoping it would be a little bit funnier, but I will say, as far as comedies are concerned, this made me laugh a few more times than most comedies I've seen for a while now. So I'm going to give it a solid 7 smiley faces and maybe 2 chuckles. So 7.2 smiley faces with some chuckles. Check out the 7.2. So check out Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain on Peacock from 2023. All right, next up, this one really kicked me in the how did I not know about this movie? Because what's the number one movie in the box office right now, Mike?
I don't know. You're asking these hard questions.
Come on, Mike, just think about it for 1 second.
The number one movie at the box office, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what's playing. I don't know. Is Wicked still playing? People still want to see that?
I think it is, but it's not number one. Pat, help him out.
I don't remember. It's whatever knocked Hulk away from the top spot last week.
The Hulk got knocked off already? Because that's what I was totally assuming.
Yeah, Captain America. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, it's not number one anymore. I think it was number 2, I think.
Oh, well, that's what I was referring to, Mike. So I would have failed my own question test anyway, too. So, yeah, Captain America, Brave New World, which I assume was number 1, starring none other than Anthony Mackie, also has a new-ish streaming movie out. This came out actually in 2024, so it's not fresh, but it's still lukewarm, okay? But this is called Elevation, which, this is, just to talk about this for a minute, this is how crazy, in my mind, I've always thought that whenever these big actors get these streaming shows and movies, it's, for lack of a better way to describe it, and not a humongous dig here, but just, I would think of it this way. It's kind of like, well, they're not A-list tier anymore. That's why they're doing this. Did you guys kind of think like that at all, or is that just me, Mike?
No, I think in the past I did, but I think the whole landscape's changed so much. Kind of like, you remember when movie stars didn't do TV. They would never take that step down to do a TV show.
Right.
But I think that's more acceptable now as well. I think the whole thing's changed, but yeah, even like 10 years ago, I would have definitely thought that.
Oh, I'm going to agree with that a little bit, but also push back a little bit and say, I would have said 5 years ago, I'd have thought that. Maybe even a couple years, but this is the first time this has been of note to me, that this is a top movie that the main star is currently in the theater, that I'm watching a streaming movie that's new as well. So, like, there's no line anymore. It's just all blurred together,
Yep.
just like you were basically saying, Mike. But anyway, I watched Elevation. This is on Max. I do believe it's a Max original too. I don't know whether we can see any of that on the poster, but I do believe it is a Max original. This also has Marina Baccarin. What's she from, Pat?
Firefly, Deadpool.
Nice job. Nice job. Deadpool's, is he his girlfriend or were they ever married? Did they get married?
Did they get married?
Wife, girlfriend?
Yeah, sure. Significant other.
Yeah. And the lady of night, the lady of the night from Firefly.
Companion.
What'd you say, Mike?
I didn't say anything. Pat said companion.
Oh, companion. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Companion. That's another good way to say it. Anyway, so I don't know whether you can see this on this poster. I love asking trivia questions to get into these commentary on this, Mike. If you note on the bottom of the poster, this is from the producers of A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what is The Quiet Place known for, Mike?
Being quiet.
You can't talk, right? Because the aliens are going to kill you, right?
Yeah, you can't make sounds. Yeah.
And then, of course, they followed it up with Bird Box, which in Bird Box, what couldn't you do, Mike?
Yep, couldn't see.
Couldn't look. Couldn't see it. Couldn't look at it. And I think there was a third one, but I couldn't remember for the life of me. We jokingly referred to another one because we talked about the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkey meme or whatever, you know. And you want to guess what you can't do in this one, Mike?
Smell. I don't know.
Very nice. That's actually a pretty good guess. No, this is going to be tougher. You can't breathe. You can't breathe. The alien will. Oh, I kind of let the cat out of the bag. But you can't breathe in this one.
Because they can hear you or they can smell your breath.
They have the only way they can see you, they can smell your breath. Where's the studio audience on that one?
It was.
Anyway, they have sensory tentacles that sense none other than carbon monoxide. So
yeah, you can smell your coffee breath.
Technically, you can breathe in, but you just can't breathe out. Okay, so you can go and hold it. You know, couldn't sleep was the other show. I think you might be right, Karen. Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, this movie is basically like everyone trying to vape in the movie theater. You can breathe in, but you.
Yeah, I like that analogy too. But no, anyway, this one's really simple. But I've got one huge complaint in this one though. It's simple, but wait to hear about it. Anyway, so these creatures come up and they look. There's so many creatures that look like alien. The alien, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They come up from the ground and they literally just wipe out humanity. Okay, like 98% of all humanity is wiped out by these creatures that come from underground. And through a couple sentences at the beginning of the movie, they express this to you that people above 8,000 feet above sea level survive, and they come to discover that these creatures cannot go above 8,000 feet. Okay, so everybody that survives the original creature apocalypse moves to 8,000, lives 8,000 square feet. So you can only live in the mountains. Okay, right. I said square feet. I'm a lawn care guy. 8,000 feet in the air, so that you can only live in the mountains. And they actually chalk off the area in the mountain too with stakes. What is happening? With stakes and chalk. around the mountain. It's kind of corny, but it works as this visual because, of course, whenever they have problems with the aliens, it's because they have to cross the chalk line to do whatever. And then when the aliens are chasing them, they, of course, they just barely make it across the chalk line. But for some reason, that's at 8,000 feet of elevation. The aliens are still stopping their tracks right there. Okay. And basically, this is one of the simplest plots ever. Anthony Mackie's son has asthma. He runs out of medication. So every time he runs out of medication, he has to run down to the store. And the store or the pharmacy that has the medication he needs is, of course, a lot lower than 8,000 feet of elevation, right?
So didn't he just get all of it in one run?
Well, it's okay. The way I guess I oversimplified that with the way I said it, but basically he finds a place and then he takes it all.
Oh,
but then when he runs out, he's got to go find another place. Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of a scavenger hunt every time he does it anyway. It's not like there's one place, there's an unlimited supply. He can just keep going. It's just every time he needs it, he's got to go find it, So
that's more time down there looking.
Yeah, that too. They're kind of throwing caution hazard to the wind or whatever that phrase is, that it'll even be there where they think it's going to be, right? And of course, what's her name again? Firefly Deadpool lady, Marina. She's notorious in this new world for being the only one that's ever killed one of these creatures or actually fought one of these creatures and survived. She didn't kill it, because that's a major thing with this movie too, is no one's ever killed one. Oh, so wow. Since she has experience of actually fighting one and surviving, she's also like this genius scientist lady too. So she's the one working more adamantly than anyone else and believes there's a way to kill these. But basically everyone in this world has succumbed to the thought that we're never going to live without these things ever. They can't be killed. This is the way the world is now. Get used to it. But she's still, no, I'm going to find a way, right?
Helium balloons.
Okay. That's a good idea. See, you'd be one of the scientists trying to figure things out in this world.
Yeah, Matt. Drag them up over.
Yeah, good job. Force them. Anyway, so she agrees to go with Anthony Mackie because where he's going for medicine, there's also chemicals there that she has as an idea to put together to kill these things. Right. And so here comes your first spoiler alert. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She actually does find a combination of chemicals that she can put in bullets that whenever she shoots these things with it, it creates a chemical reaction that makes these guys pop like a zit. Okay. I think that might be my second alien popping like a zit reference in the past 2 shows too. I think that might actually be a thing. But anyway, so that's the movie. In the midst of him getting his medicine for his son, she solves the whole world crisis and saves the day, and humans win. Yay! Okay, really simple. Okay, this is fine. Obviously, the acting chops are heavy hitters in this. Great acting, dialogue's fine. Didn't note any kind of annoyances through this entire thing. Action's fine. Special effects are good. There's really nothing special about this, but there's only one thing, in my opinion, that ruins this entire movie. And I've actually alluded to it on purpose with everything I've said. And it's regarding the 8,000 feet of elevation. Pat, when I say what this movie's about, what's the first question you had in your head?
Why did you choose this movie?
No. If you're in this world, I love trying to lead the witness and failing miserably.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. I don't mean to put you on the spot there. So in this world, not me, but in this world, what's the first question you have? Mike?
I have no questions.
Did I leave the toaster on? I don't know.
Aaron?
I know why you would go below.
I'm obviously projecting. This is the first question I had.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't have any questions because I
No.
can't think.
Why can't they go above 8,000 feet?
I don't know.
I know you don't know, but that's my first question. I'm just saying I was like, okay, like they just told you that was the fact.
It's
Karen, it looks frozen because they're in mountaintops and it's very
they're above
cold.
8,000 feet.
Yeah. What'd you say, Mike?
It might be so there's less oxygen up there, so maybe it has something to do with that. The air's a lot thinner, so that would be my guess.
I like that, Mike. Pat, did you have a guess?
No.
Well, I was hoping you'd come with one, Pat, because this is my biggest beef with this movie. Okay. Mike's idea is as good as any because the final line of this movie, no joke, is we never found out why they couldn't go above 8,000 square feet.
Well, at least they answered your question. Kind of.
That was a perfect move, Karen. Thank you. Exactly. I hate this movie because of that. I'm not recommending this to anyone because of that sole reason. You literally put elevation. That's the name of your movie. Like it should have been the CO2 aliens for me not to hate this movie or any other name you want to give it, the underground demon, whatever you want to give it. But you literally put the fact that they couldn't go above 8,000 square feet in your title, essentially. And you never answer that question. And it's, Pat, it's a movie about aliens that kill the human race in the future that don't have eyes. They just have sensory tentacles reading CO2. It's all fictional.
Wait a minute.
Gobbledygook. What, Mike?
There's another problem.
What?
So they're aliens. So they're not from Earth.
Okay, that's... I
So
didn't
they
even explain.
from.
No, they don't. They don't.
Let's say because there's even less.
I keep referring to them as aliens because they look like aliens. That's why I just keep using that as the way to describe them. But actually we find out when they destroy them that they're actually robots.
What?
You just made that up.
I swear to God.
No.
I swear to God. They're actually they're kind of like Terminators. They're like they're robots, but not like typical robots. But they're mechanical creatures.
Oh my gosh.
They're like Transformers.
No,
they don't transform them.
This went from bad to really bad in my eyes.
Well, just seriously, just don't watch. Pretend. Here's what you do to enjoy. Here's what you. Well, if you would care to watch to enjoy this, here's what you need to do. Not watch the last 5 minutes and make up what you just pretend in your own head the description they give you as to why they can't go above 8,000 square. Like Mike said, the air's thinner. So at 8,000 square feet is their limit of breathing that density of air. Does that make sense? Is that scientific? But anyway, that's make that up in your head, and the rest of this movie's fine. It's still nothing special, but it's not bad. But yeah, in the last 5 minutes, they literally say, and that's what I'm trying to express. They literally say the line, "We never figured out why they couldn't go above 8,000 square feet." I'm just like, why would you implement that in the screenplay rather than a line that explains why they couldn't go above 8,000 square feet?
It's a tease for Elevation 2. We do find out.
When they figure it out. Well, I'm pulling for Elevation 2 then.
You might be right. But yeah, then the fact that they're actually mechanical beings instead of creatures from the ground, that was just a throwaway thing that they just when it pops like a zit, you see all the like you see they're actually not even biological.
So that means nothing above 8,000 feet could affect them. This movie's got issues.
Exactly. So,
Cool.
I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it 3 smiley faces because 92% of this movie has potential. It's like so crazy. Anyway,
Does it get a chuckle? At least one chuckle
No,
for
it's
the
not.
end whenever that line comes up. We never found out. And you're like,
no, that's when I literally threw my coffee cup at my TV and I'm like, what? I was mad. I was hot. Like I should send them an email just to ask them that. Rather than saying that line in the movie, why didn't you just say the line of whatever it is? Because that's what I was wondering from the beginning when they first stated. Like, why can't these things go? And I'm like,
right.
we'll find out.
Yeah, they'll tell me.
I'm a patient movie goer. We'll find out. So dumb. All right, next up in the movies you may not have heard of with big actors and actresses in it. This is a new Apple TV exclusive with Miles Teller, one of Pat's favorite Fantastic Four actors, and Maximus's favorite Hunger Games. No, he wasn't. He was in. What's that other one?
Oh boy, Divergent.
Yeah, Divergent. Nice. See, Pat, this is why I rely on this for this stuff from you. Thank you. Pat or Max's favorite Divergent / drum movie actor, Miles Teller. You know him, Mike, right?
No, I didn't watch any of the Divergent movies.
Oh, he's a stud. Well, he was Mr. Fantastic in the last Fantastic Four, not the new one, but the last one.
Yeah, I haven't watched those either.
He's really cool. He's actually he's probably one of my top 10 favorite actors right now as well. So he's really good. Don't you agree, Pat? He's good, right?
You know what?
What?
I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything.
What? Oh, he was in Top Gun. Mike, you saw Top Gun Maverick.
No, I haven't.
I saw him on the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary show.
Pat. Mike.
What?
Mike.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Mike. You need to watch Top Gun Maverick.
I know. It's on my list of things that I want to watch.
Can you please do that for my sanity? Please?
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Today?
No, but before next show.
I was gonna watch Elevation.
No.
I guess I'll bump Elevation for Maverick.
Bump Elevation, bump Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's been bumped.
What's the what? You didn't tell us that, Pat. He bumped Boba Fett. Didn't even tell us.
Terrible. Let's see the list. I want to see the proof.
And finding out the 1923 season 2. Come on, that just jumps right to the front of the line.
Yeah, what's the thing I'm supposed to watch? Oh, Paradise. Seriously, watch Top Gun Maverick.
I will.
Okay.
Because I keep talking about Paradise and saying you got to watch.
I'm going to say that I don't think I've ever said these words I'm getting ready to say before. I guarantee Emily's going to like Top Gun Maverick. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell her you said it. Like, you have to watch this because Kim guarantees you're going to like
Exactly. So anyway, he's what's Maverick's buddy that died in the first one's name?
Goose.
Yeah, Goose. He plays
Gosling.
He plays Goose's son in Top Gun Maverick.
Right. What does he do in the Gorge?
Okay, hold on. Then there's also Sigourney Weaver.
Never heard of her.
Speaking of aliens, so this is the world's most secret, dangerous, the world's most dangerous secret lies between us. So this poster, this kind of gives you like this is some kind of love story, right, Mike?
Yeah, well, this is on my list.
Oh,
like your literal list, like your Apple TV list.
It's on my Apple TV list.
You've seen the trailer?
Yeah, but I forget.
You don't want me to? Is there anything you want me to not?
No, you can go ahead. You're good.
All right, so Miles Teller is this other girl that's forehead to forehead with him on the poster, that is not Sigourney Weaver. That is Anya Taylor-Joy, which I don't know her from anywhere else, but she did look slightly familiar to me.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of things.
Yeah.
She was Magic in the New Mutants movie.
Oh yeah. That's probably exactly what it was.
But
Yeah.
she's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Pat.
Oh, you know what else?
Here. What?
Was she in? I was just talking about 1923. What was a prequel to that? The
1898 or 1873 or 1878 or something like that.
Was she in that too? Was she? I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
She might have been. So anyway, so Miles Teller and Anya are both kind of these military operator assassins for their prospective countries. I think she's Russian, and he's of course from the good old US of A. But it seems like the thing they have in common is they're both those kind of people that if they fell off the face of the earth, no one would notice, you know? So they're hired because they have no family to speak of, and they're loners anyway. But then they're hired by Sigourney Weaver, who's this secret military organization head, to do this mysterious job. And they basically just have to agree to it based on the money and the length of the job with no other information until they get there. And when they get there, they meet up with the one person they're basically relieving so that when that one person can leave, because basically this is an outpost that just watches over this gorge. And they are on opposite sides of the gorge. And this is a huge gorge too. This is actually probably the only slightly technical complaint I have about this movie is the gorge is huge. They are really far away from each other, but the way they express their relationship in this movie, it's like they're in the same room almost with how seamless the interaction is that they have through binoculars and stuff like that. So anyway, that's a whole side note, not really that important though, but they're both put on this post on opposite sides of this gorge that lasts exactly 1 year. And they spend the whole time there by themselves. And basically all they do is watch the gorge and maintain the security devices. They've got these big Gatling guns and rocket launchers and stuff that are mounted on the edge of this gorge all the way to each end. And there's towers in the middle that they live in while they maintain all this equipment. And that's the only information they get, right? They even ask the person they're relieving, like, what's the deal? And they're really cryptic about what they talk about. It's just kind of, something in the gorge, okay? And to make this...
Just runs past. Was that it?
Well, it's not very long into the movie you find out what's in the gorge, and it's...
Thank goodness. I thought you were going to end this with, we never did find out.
No, thank God. So you remember Jack Sparrow's dad in Pirates of the Caribbean? You remember how he looked?
When he had barnacles all over him?
Yeah. There's millions of creatures in the gorge that look like that, okay? But they can climb up the walls too. So that's what happens is all the guns mounted on his side of the wall shoot them off of the wall as they try to crawl up the gorge on her side and vice versa. Okay. So that's what's happening. But so it seems like this is pretty straightforward. No action adventure here except what brings action adventure to every movie, Mike?
Love.
Right. Thank you. Nailed it. Finally, I got one easy. Love. Okay. So they fall in love with each other because, of course, he's doing all his, heavy equipment operating repair shirtless, and he's a stud, and she's of course gorgeous. So based on that and a couple quirky things they notice each other are doing through binoculars, he decides, you know what? I've been I've been walking the line my entire life. I'm ready to take some risks. So he shoots a cable cannon across the gorge and grabs onto his bat hook and just zip lines over to the other side because he loves this girl he's never met and he's only seen 8 times in the last week across the most dangerous gorge in the existence of humanity because they want to have dinner. Okay.
Love conquers all, right?
What?
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all, even intelligence and smarts. Making great decision making. We've all been there though, you know. We've all experienced the love inhibiting good decision making. But anyway, so Pat, everything goes fine when they have their dinner though.
That's nice.
Yeah. It all, the love goes just the way you picture it in every major motion picture. Okay. But now he's got to go back. He's got to go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get back home because he's got his side to maintain because of the creatures coming out of the gorge, right? But of course, that's when things go awry. He's zipping back to his side of the gorge, and of course, there's these. They have these bombs hanging, you know, like the bombs they have in the oceans where subs hit them and they blow up. Mm-hmm. They've got those hanging on the edge of the gorge. So when these things crawl up, these bombs explode. So of course, when he's zipping back to his side after this great night with what's her name, one of these creatures come up and hit one of those, and one of those bombs snap his cable.
Oh, of course.
So he's like, whoa! He does the whole King Kong swing into the. I use that reference. Remember the ladder when they were crossing the ladder and King Kong snapped it and they fell. But anyway, that might be a Pirates of the Caribbean thing too. Anyway, that may have been used a bunch of times. Yeah. But anyway, but of course, Pat, now Anya's in love. She can't just leave him down there. So of course, Anya then voluntarily dives into the gorge. So now she's trying to save him. He's trying to escape the gorge.
And nobody's on their posts.
What?
They've abandoned their post.
They have abandoned their post, but like I told you, most of their posts is just maintaining the equipment.
Right.
So that's really just a side note. The problem is they're inside the gorge, so the creatures aren't even interested in getting out anymore. They're interested in just killing them. So they got to fight 1 million of these creatures in the gorge. Okay. And like I said, they're both the best operator assassins the world has ever seen. So they do fine. And then we discover what the creatures in the gorge are. And spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're a military experiment gone awry that Sigourney Weaver is, of course, benefiting millions and millions of dollars from this happening. Mm-hmm. And this is probably the dumbest thing with this movie. So once they realize that these 2 lovebirds have abandoned their posts and caused all these problems, and now they know the secrets, they must be
eliminated.
Yeah, right. So Pat, you're just going to send a crew of bad butts to terminate them. Send like 10 of the equivalents of these 2 and take them out easy, right, Pat?
Yeah, my first thought would be like, the gorge will take care of them. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
No. They have secret cameras in the gorge so they can see that they're actually winning the battle against the creatures.
Okay. So you better send somebody then.
Exactly. But you know what I wouldn't do, Mike?
What wouldn't you do?
Join them. But Sigourney Weaver does that, of course. Imagine. So, you know, like I said, spoiler alert. Sigourney Weaver joins them, which, you know, they win. Sigourney Weaver's dead. You know, Gorge's secrets are out. And I won't. There's actually one other part of the ending I won't completely destroy, so you may enjoy this movie. And this movie's fine. It's just you know, ridiculous. You know, but it's not the same ridiculous as Elevation. It's just ridiculous, like silly, but like we're kind of joking but serious at the same time. That love will make you do some stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. So fine, it's fine, whatever. Okay. So I'm going to give this because the acting's good, plot's good. I mean, you know, it's fine. The special effects, great. I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 smiley faces. I had a good time watching it, but this isn't a quality movie. How about that?
All right.
So check out The Gorge on Apple TV. And this is brand new. This just came out in 2025. So this just dropped, I think, in February, actually. So check it out. All right, then last but not least, hoping I get a little bit of input on this one. Maybe some other people have seen this. Pat, have you seen Venom, The Last Dance?
I have not. I mean, we just recently watched Let There Be Carnage. I'm like, oh man, got to finish this trilogy off. But do we? Because boy, that second one was just so bad.
I agree. Mike, have you seen Venom: The Last Dance?
No, I'm one step behind Pat. We rewatched Venom. And we were gonna watch Let There Be Carnage. I watched the trailer and I was like, man, it's really gonna be a struggle. It doesn't look great, so we haven't taken the leap.
Well, this just dropped for free on Netflix, so it's a great opportunity, you know.
Do I have to see Let There Be Carnage to watch this one?
Actually, the short answer is no, but I would recommend it because there are definitely references to it. And the reason I say no for the short answer is because there's a lot I don't quite remember from Let There Be Carnage.
Okay.
Until it was pointed out to me that I learned this from Let There Be Carnage. I was like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I've seen Let There Be Carnage, but what I needed from Let There Be Carnage for this one, I forgot. Does that make sense? So, and I was still fine. And here's where I am on the Venom trilogy. I hated Venom, okay? I shouldn't say hate, but I did not like Venom at all, okay? I'm not a Venom fan. I'm a big Tom Hardy fan, and I think his portrayal of Eddie Brock is horrible. I hate it. So I didn't like Venom at all. I begrudgingly watched Let There Be Carnage, hoping it would be a little better some way. I thought it was worse. It's so bad. 100% agree with y'all. Before I get into the meat of The Last Dance, I think this is worse than Venom, but better than Let There Be Carnage. So there you go.
There you go.
Let that, take that for what it is. I do think this is the most basic story of the three. And it's annoying how simplistic it is, not because it's technically a simplistic matter, but because of the way this plays out is so blunt and simplistic. I didn't care for. I thought it was silly. It was just like mashed together and pointless, you know. So basically, what happens in this is they cover 75% of the meat of the plot in the first 5-minute descriptor of looking at Null in his prison world or what? What's Clintar? Is that what it is, Pat?
Yeah, I think so.
So the symbiotes betrayed him and imprisoned him in Clintar. From the events of, I believe, Let There Be Carnage, but it could have happened in Venom. I couldn't quite remember. Venom having to save Eddie Brock when Eddie died, basically resurrecting him by, becoming symbiotic, created a a key inside them. What's the key? Oh man, this word is used all the time. That's why I can't remember it. Of course, but anyway, create a key inside them that it's going to come to me during this review. That this key is what Null needs to escape his prison that the symbiotes put him in. And of course, he's there and he can't escape, and he has minions that, ironically enough, I didn't even realize this. I would have used this in the teaser as well. His minions look just like aliens. Just like the elevation aliens, just like the aliens that Sigourney Weaver fights, Null's minions that he sends to find to get the key from Venom and Eddie look just like aliens as far as I'm concerned. They're just a different version of the same alien. And of course they can interdimensionally travel. So Null's the only one that's stuck there, I guess. But he can send these guys to go get the key, and they come back with it. Null's going to be free, and he's just going to destroy the world. And that's explained in the first 5 minutes. The rest of the movie is just, Eddie and Venom living the life just on the run. They're on, they're kind of hapless and hopeless and homeless, just kind of traveling. They're trying to get to New York because Venom wants to see this Empire State Building. I know this is stupid too. So what? And then also too, these aliens, they can't. Okay, so you can't breathe, you can't speak, you can't see. These aliens, the only way they can detect and see Venom and Eddie is when they're fully Venom. When they become fully Venom, they can see the key inside them, and then they can track them. So as long as they don't fully become Venom, they can't find them anyway. Which it's dumb. Whatever, that's dumb. I thought that was okay. That makes no sense. But and then the other factor is then just don't ever do that, because they can partially still be Venomite. You know how his head comes out of his shoulder and they talk, and he touches a horse and makes it a venomized horse. So just don't become fully Venom. But of course they become fully Venom through the fights they have to, so then the aliens can sense them. So anyway, then Area 51 comes into play because they are currently trying to track down Venom and all of the symbiotes that I guess just lay around everywhere there's a piece of Venom somewhere. It's so goofy. So all of and also another thing that just coincidentally is happening, Area 51 is getting ready to be shut down for good. So they track down Venom and Eddie. They bring them to Area 51, separate them. And then, of course, the aliens from Null find them there. So now the S hits the fan everywhere. And they have to release all the symbiotic fluid from all of the symbiotes that they've been studying. And literally all the doctors and scientists at Area 51 become symbiotes. So there's like 12 symbiotes running around fighting. And here's the other dumb part about it is one of these aliens is literally taking out everybody. No, they can't beat this one alien forever. But then as soon as Null realizes that his one alien is close to getting the syntax, or that's not what it is, whatever the key is. I thought I was going to get it by the end. I'm almost done. As soon as Null realizes they're close, he decides to send two more of his minions to go help. So now there's 3 of these things, and they're all fighting them, and they're just crushing. Like they're nothing even close to winning is happening. But then all of a sudden, the movie needs to come to an end. So basically, they decide to make Venom all powerful to where he can just basically become a symbiote with the 3 aliens at the same time, essentially encapsulating them into himself to win the fight in a certain way that they die. I won't ruin that for you. But to win the fight, Venom has to die. And basically the key to Null being released becomes non-existent again once Eddie or Venom die. So Venom basically sacrifices himself to save the Earth from Null. End of story. Happy ever after.
I just want why the same woman wrote all 3 Venom movies. Kelly Marcel. I think this was her directorial debut on this one, though. it doesn't look like she has any history in comic books at all. Now I know they're two different mediums, but you've got to have some knowledge and history of where these characters come from and what's out of character for them, what's not, I don't know. It just seems like they're like, okay, here's this character Venom, this is what he looks like, and go.
Not that I disrespect your opinion at all, Mike, because I completely 100% agree with you. I'm going to actually disrespect our opinions maybe a little bit. I wish Tyler was here. I want Tyler's input because he's Pat. Have you read any Venoms?
I have, but I'm not waiting eagerly for every new Venom comic to come out. Let's put it that way.
Does even Let There Be Carnage and even the first Venom movie, do they follow a storyline in the comics that I'm unaware of and maybe Mike's unaware of as well?
Not that I know of. I mean,
It
they just
seems
they just
off the wall, right?
Just pick bits here and there, and it stems from the whole problem of trying to create Venom movies without Spider-Man. That's where I check out, and that's where I check out with all of those Sony movies. It's like, what's the point? What are we doing here?
Yeah, and incidentally, this is an MCU movie. They literally talk about Thanos and the inner, the multiverse, actions and the blip and the snap. All that's referred to in this movie. So this is an MCU movie. This is a Sony MCU movie, just like Spider-Man. So yeah, it totally. Not only do I 100% agree with you, Pat, I'm going to take it a step further. And well, this I guess should be a question. There's no reason they shouldn't either because they own Spider-Man too. So I don't know why wouldn't they want to put these together, right?
Exactly. 100%.
So crazy. Same thing with Kraven and Morbius, right?
Yep.
Well, they figure they can, if they put Spider-Man in Venom or Kraven or Morbius, then it's a Spider-Man movie, and they don't get to make the Spider-Man movie. I'm just guessing.
All right. What was the other one too? The Madam Web, yeah.
Yeah.
All these Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man.
Yeah, nobody cares about those characters without Spider-Man.
Well, just a little bit of pushback on that. I would argue, Venom could be maybe, I don't know, maybe that is my problem. I just don't exactly realize. Tyler maybe influences me a little bit to think that maybe Venom could be on an adventure on his own without Spider-Man and still be good, but I could be wrong. Maybe that is just the meat of what's wrong here. Yeah. So
Venom was their best shot. It's obviously they got 3 movies out of it.
Yeah, right. Man, and they do this horrible montage at the end too. You know how you got the montage at the end of Deadpool Wolverine with all of the Sony 20th Century Fox movies, and all of that really cool, back. What's the word I'm looking for?
Behind the scenes type
No,
thing.
remembering the past. They got all those nostalgic footage to a really slow song at the end of Deadpool Wolverine to remember all the 20th Century Fox movies. You know how they did that, and it really worked really well at the end of Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah,
they do that at the end of this movie with everybody hurts sometime. Everybody hurts sometime. Hey. What's that? What's Memories? Right? Is that called Memories? Yeah, it's called Memories. Anyway, Mike, you're the music guy. Anyway, they play that song, and then they do this montage of memories of the 3 Venom movies of Eddie remembering Venom. It's so ridiculous. I don't know if it's trying to be funny or it's supposed to try to tear me up. It's so bad. I hated it. And then to make matters worse, at the very end of this, Null is still coming, Mike. I don't know how, because the Thing is destroyed because Venom's dead, but Null's coming. No, that's the teaser at the end of this. Null's still coming, so I guess there could be a Venom 4.
Yeah. Well, if they would just make it good, then the comics I have go up in value and I can sell them for a lot of money to Tyler.
They refer to themselves as the Lethal Protector in a tongue-in-cheek way during the whole movie too. Like, we are the Lethal Protector. No more lethal protector. Come on, buddy, lethal protector. It's so goofy. Anyway, like I said, though, I like this better than Let There Be Carnage, but not quite as much as Venom. That being said, Venom, maybe I gave a 6. I can't even remember what I gave that. I reviewed that on here. And there, Let There Be Carnage. I wish I had that reference right now. But let me just rate them all 3 right now. I'm going to give Venom a 6, Let There Be Carnage a 4, and Venom The Last Dance a 5. How's that sound? I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what Tyler has to say about everything. I don't think he liked this in general, though, either as well. So,
yeah, he's a big fan of the comics, so I'm guessing he was probably disappointed in this.
You know, one thing he did mention to me when I remember him saying this vividly when it first came out is you didn't see much Null, which is true and not true at the same time. Because I was totally under the impression you just saw Null at the end or something like that from the way he described it to me. But you see Null through, you kind of see Null through this entire movie, but only like for split seconds at a time. It's weird. He's never a player in the movie, but he's always in the, involved in some way. And you know who Null is, Pat?
The actor?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, it's Gollum and what's his name from Black Panther? What's his name?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Is it Serkis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thought it was Service, but okay. Anyway, yeah, Andy Serkis, yeah, which is kind of a weird role because he talks like aside from the first, couple minutes explaining things because we're hearing Null explain how he got into his position, but after that he like doesn't say anything like for the rest of the movie until the end. It's kind of a Thanos moment where Thanos is like, "Fine, I'll do it myself." He kind of makes reference to where he's still coming at the end, which I'm like, okay. And then they show this cockroach crawling out of the wreckage, and okay, there's a cockroach symbiote that's bringing Null somehow. I don't know. It's so crazy. So anyway, there you go. Check out Venom: The Last Dance on Netflix. At least it's free. That's my big takeaway from that.
That's your tagline.
At least it's free now. Yeah. Which also the Lord of the Rings dropped. The Lord of the Rings animated dropped for free this week as well too. That's something I'm actually looking forward to. That you looking forward to that, Pat? Did you see that?
I didn't. I wasn't that eager to see it, but I've heard decent things about it. So.
Yeah, that's put more the way I was thinking as well. I wasn't excited right away because it was animated, but then I've heard nothing but great things about it since. So it's definitely piqued my interest. And then, of course, Mike, if you want to plug real quick how awesome your show you're watching is because you've been trying to sell it hard. And we saw the trailer, and I think it's worthy. So if you want to talk about that for a minute, Mike.
Yeah, it's Paradise. It's on Hulu. 8 episodes, and episode 8 comes out on Tuesday.
Do you remember that? Oh, it's the finale coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That goes like brings the whole season.
Yeah, I think they are working on season 2. So,
and the main actor is the brother from.
He played Randall on
This Is Us.
Yeah. And it's the same writer for This Is Us wrote this too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what's the premise?
Can't give too much away. Basically, Randall is I should know the actor's name. I really like him.
That's what I was saying.
Like the top Secret Service guy that's always with the president.
Okay.
And some bad stuff happens.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's got some great twists that you don't see coming. And every episode is really intense.
Aside from you, because my phone listens and reads my texts and stuff. So since you've been pitching it to me, I've actually gotten a lot of Paradise stuff, content on my phone. Yeah. So it seems like that's the consensus. I haven't heard any negative about it and nothing but super hyped up amazingness about it. So yeah, it's definitely happening for us.
Yeah. And the president is played by
Cyclops. James Marsden.
Which, you know how we commented when we first heard that, Pat, that he seemed a little young to be the president. Since I've seen the trailer, yeah, he still seems a little young to be the president.
Yeah, he's a cool president, though.
Yeah.
So.
All right, cool. All right, Mike, you ready now for your part?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right. Pick 3. All right. Here we have 10 covers chosen from a list of 572. These have a shelf date of Wednesday, March 5th. March already. Just like that.
Crazy.
I love this week. I love these 10. I feel they're all really strong. So this was an exciting week for me.
Codex. Damn it.
Oh, Codex. There you go.
Yeah, Codex is formed in Venom when Venom had to become symbiotic with Eddie, a Codex formed in them. Damn. Okay. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
That's right. Now, one of these covers didn't receive any votes.
Oh man.
Mhm.
You know what? I have are we guessing after or yeah, we have to guess now, right?
Yeah, you have to guess now because
Ironically enough, I can't believe I'm guessing this, but this is what I'm guessing because I think it makes the most sense. Is monsters.
okay, Pat, what do you got?
G.I. Joe.
All right. Well, let me put it this way, and then I'll reveal after. One of you is correct.
All right.
Ah. All right. Doing something a little bit new this week. There was a 3-way tie for third.
Nice.
And I felt normally I would find, I'd have a tiebreaker, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to show all 3 because they're all 3 equally awesome based on the vote.
Okay.
So anytime there's a tie for third, I'm just going to go ahead and, if there's a tie for second and third, or for second, then I'll go ahead and do a tiebreaker to get the third place. But I don't want to leave off 2 covers that are awesome based on the tiebreaker. So,
Okay.
So also I changed the layout because I got tired of the old one.
The only pushback I'd say on that is we're getting all 10 here, so it's not like we're not seeing them.
That's true, but we're highlighting the others. So basically, this is a pick 5. This is like half.
Okay, pick 5, right? Okay.
All right. So tied for third place, we've got Batgirl 5 from. Oh, I didn't go through them all.
Oh, you didn't. Back up.
I'm all out. I'm all out of sorts here. All right. Let's run through these. Batgirl number 5, David Talaski. Spider-Gwen 11. What is that? Ghost Spider. By Mark Brooks. Walking Dead Deluxe 108, David Finch. Batman 612, the facsimile edition from Jim Lee. Fantastic Four number 1. It's listed as a second printing by Alex Ross.
Is that the correct pronunciation? Is it facsimile or a facsimile?
Probably facsimile. I don't know.
That was funny how you said that, facsimile. What say you, Pat?
I always say facsimile because that's where that's why you call it a fax machine.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice sell, Pat. Mike, you're wrong. I just never heard anyone say facsimile before, which was interesting. So All right, continue.
Next up, Mark Spears Monsters number 1, the 4th printing.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Back up again. You were on Fantastic Four. You asked if that was a second printing, right? Is that what you said?
No, it's listed as a second printing.
A second printing of what?
I don't know.
That's weird.
It's Fantastic Four number 1.
Right.
So you would think it's how they're doing the facsimiles.
Yeah.
but then they're doing variants for the facsimile. So maybe that's why they're calling this one a second printing, or maybe they did the facsimile and it's sold out, so they went back and did a second printing of that. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that would make more sense to me. Okay, gotcha. Second printing of the facsimile, not a second printing of Fantastic Four number one, because it is a facsimile, right, Pat? Is it you agree with all that?
Yeah, they probably. I agree. The sold out. They're pumping and getting ready for the priming for the Fantastic Four movie. There was more interest in it. People were looking for it, so they decided to do a second printing of it.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay. Mark Spears Monsters number one, the fourth printing by Mark Spears. G.I. Joe number one, the third printing from Kendrick Lim. Wolverine number 7, first printing, David Baldion. Immortal Thor 21, Alex Ross, and Birds of Prey 19, Jenny Frison. So there you have it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, we already got the tie for 3. You want to put that back up? I got a question.
So here we go. Batgirl number 5, Spider-Gwen 11, and Walking Dead Deluxe 108. Man, I really like that Spider-Gwen. He's got that nice 1950s sci-fi look to it.
Right. Yeah, that's like homage of that kind of. There's literally a poster that's just like that with astronauts, I think, isn't there?
Could
Probably.
be.
I'm gonna have to find that and show it. But I had a question about the Walking Dead Deluxe, Mike.
Yeah.
Is that literally just the same cover?
Of The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
No, the B cover is the same cover from just the Walking Dead series by Charlie Adler, but it's recolored. David Finch has been doing new covers for every single issue as the A cover.
So this is obvious. This was obviously one of the Walking Dead covers, though.
No.
What?
No. This is all new artwork. The A covers are all new artwork by David Finch. The B cover for the Walking Dead Deluxe is the A cover for the original series. If you saw the A cover,
this is an A cover of Deluxe.
Yes, and it's all new artwork.
What's that character's name again?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, yeah.
No, what's his title? King or is it King Ezekiel?
Yeah, King Ezekiel. Yeah, just look up Walking Dead 108, and it's similar but way different.
Hold on.
That's an awesome tiger.
Yeah, I love that, but that's what I could have swore that this was the same as before.
Nope. And that's why I was up in the air on what I should do, because I don't have those original early Walking Deads. So I'm getting this obviously, but I'm getting the A covers because I like the Finch artwork. So
yeah, I love this cover so much. Yeah. I love it so much I thought I was loving it a second time. That's how much. Pat, is this a Finch you can get behind?
I voted for it.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Mike, did you vote for it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're all on the same page with that one. Thank God.
Yep.
Did either of you vote for Batgirl or Ghost Spider?
I voted for Ghost Spider, yeah.
So did I.
Yep. Did not vote for Batgirl.
Nope.
Yeah, I did not vote for either of those. I actually was thinking the Ghost Spider was my second thought in the running for guessing which one didn't get a vote.
Oh.
Because not that I don't think it's good, because it's just kind of silly. I think it's too silly for me. Not knowing anything about the story. I mean, Spider-Man Ghost Spider. She's an astronaut, and Loki's happy and sweet looking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the aesthetic with those characters, basically. So
I can't remember if it was a variant or not. I can't imagine it being the A cover.
Yeah, that looks like definitely variant material.
Yeah. So, all right. So we want to see number 2.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Oh, I'm used to cover combat. I hit the arrow. No, I actually have to manually go get the thing. All right. In second place, Fantastic Four number 1. Look at Alex
Wow.
Ross placing.
I am shocked.
Yep.
I wouldn't think that would hit with the young crowd.
Let me see. Yeah. Marcus, Ayla, Valor.
Well, I consider the young crowd anybody but the 3 of us here.
Oh, then
Because everybody else is younger than
Yep, Tyler.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't vote for this. So, did you vote for this, Pat?
No, I did not, for reasons.
I did not.
Okay. Okay, so we're all on the same page, not voting for this. What's your biggest reason, Pat? Or
Was the recurring thing of this week was I've seen these before. So
Yep.
yeah.
That's
I want
for
new
sure.
stuff. I want new covers. I don't want these old covers.
That's true. Even if you love it, right?
Right.
Yep.
I get what you're saying, but like the whole reason I put the Batman up there was because to me it's a great cover, but when it came out, we weren't doing cover combat, so I wanted to highlight it. All right. Are we ready for number 1?
I think so. Karen, you ready?
Wow.
Look at Alex Ross, Thor
Yeah.
21, taking first and second.
I am surprised about that.
I'm surprised about that too. Is anybody reading this?
No.
Why is Thor glowy on every cover? Does anyone know?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, that's an artistic choice that
I don't
Alex
like
Ross
it.
is making. I don't love it either,
Yeah.
but I did vote for this cover.
It's like he's always being followed by some dude with a spotlight.
Right.
That's why a lot of the covers for Thor haven't resonated with me. But this one, yeah, it's just holy cow.
Maybe there's something to it because I think the big thing they let loose was that Thor is going to be dying soon. Poor Thor.
Oh,
Yeah, so maybe he, all this lightning has been building up in him over the years, and he just can't contain it anymore.
Thor's going to be dying in the Immortal Thor. That is crazy.
That's crazy, huh?
Man, I like that idea. This story sounds awesome.
I will say this is definitely probably either 4th or 5th on my list. But yeah, me being tired of that glowy blueness is what made it not make the top 3. Yeah. The Punisher from Beyond character guy is he looks awesome.
The Executioner.
Yeah, the Executioner, yeah, right. That's his name.
I
didn't realize Thor's reflection was in his axe. I didn't even look at that though. That is cool. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Can I see the 10 again? I got a couple things I'd like to say.
Yep, that was number 1. So you guys, so the cover that got 0 votes was Monsters.
Wow, that was close. But my reason for not voting for that is because I couldn't tell what the heck was going on until I looked into it and found out that I could see that they were like ganging up on somebody, but it was just a mess, and I couldn't figure out what it was until I looked it up and found out that that's his main character in the book.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have issue 2 and 3. And I've looked through them, and the interior artwork is just amazing. I don't have number 1 yet, so I'm hoping. I forgot to add this to the extra pool to try to get number 1, so I can give it a shot.
Well, I wanted to lead in with the second Rivals mention of the show, that Invisible Woman variant for Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked many times how that's annoying, and I don't like it. Although Invisible Woman is my new main in Marvel Rivals. She's awesome. But I guess Monsters, and what I said about why I was guessing it while it not making any sense for me is because Monsters was probably my 4th or 5th runner-up as well. Mike, did I pick Monsters ultimately?
No, nobody picked monsters. You
Oh,
picked
that's
Thor.
right. Yeah. That's right. Okay, yeah, I'm dumb. But anyway,
Yeah, you voted on Thor though. You picked Thor.
Dadgum. Okay. So I thought those were both almost there, but didn't quite make it. But obviously, I'm wrong. But with monsters, I agree with what Pat was saying. I couldn't make sense of it, although I loved the way it looked. But then the other factor that made me not vote for it was I felt like it's one of those scenarios where what I wanted to look at was less of the cover than what I didn't want to look at. You know, with the whole cemetery background, I felt like what's happening there could have been like moved up, and it could have been more of the cover essentially. You know what I'm saying? I like it, but it's weird how I don't like it at the same time.
Yeah.
Too much of that space going on. But I love that G.I. Joe, Pat. So when you picked that one, I was like, no, I definitely won this because I picked the G.I. Joe. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like how she looks like a little girl. And here's another. This goes along the lines of the Thor book. I don't know what's going on here, but apparently Baroness is on G.I. Joe's team now. That's what I've been gathering.
Oh, really?
I think
yeah.
so.
Well, she does have the star thing there.
Yeah, I don't really care for that look on her. I like the black leather, red cobra symbol.
Right. Yeah. She did look cool. I didn't know what was going on there. And you know, that has been mentioned a lot about the whole kind of these. They look like little girls, like really young. I think there is such a thing as being youthful looking adults, though. You know, I mean, I think this look can be totally, I mean, aside from her figure, just looking at her face, you know, that can totally be pulled off as an adult look too, you know, but that's just my opinion. What do I know? What say you, Mike?
I just think it's a cool looking cover, and I figured somebody would like it.
No, the question on the table, Mike, is does she look too much like a little kid, or can an adult female look youthful like that and be fine?
I think it is. She does look like more of a kid, but I think it's the artist, this art style, kind of like the manga stuff. They always make the girls look very young.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and last question about the Walking Dead Deluxe. Have I seen that image before, even if it hasn't been a cover? Have I seen that image? It like that nearly identical image?
I probably did it for the cover on previews.
Oh, that's where you're thinking I've seen it that recently.
Yeah, I think maybe I highlighted it there.
Why is the last E in Deluxe so far away from the X?
I don't know, but it's annoying.
Not the way now I'm wondering if they're all like that.
I don't know. That is son of a gun. I have a bunch upstairs. I'm gonna go look.
I just noticed that. I didn't see that before.
Yeah, I never noticed it.
I never noticed it either. Not that's
I can't wait to look. Actually, I'm gonna see if it's just in the graphics here.
And then the Birds of Prey didn't make it for me because I think we're falling into that with Jenny Frison, that it looks so awesome, but it's the same kind of thing again.
Yeah.
With that,
well, yeah, this time I did put her up there because it's kind of an action shot. She usually has these still.
That's
shots.
true. You can totally hear her there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's why I did that one.
You can totally hear that picture. Yeah, that's a good way.
Huh. Yeah, I'm CLZ app, and yeah, the Deluxe is proper spacing on the E. So
for all of them except that one.
That is weird.
So is either an error or an artistic choice to make conversations like this.
Well,
right?
Let me pull it up on here and and see what on my CLZ app, because they already have some of the 108A. Yeah, it's messed up in here too. Can't wait to see it in print. Well, the colors are much better.
It does seem like it's targeted to be on the other side of the leg of that A intentionally. Like the placement isn't random. It seems like it's, like the A spaces in between the X and the E perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but all the other issues though, it's proper.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's what makes me think it's not an accident. To be continued. We'll figure that out.
We'll find out on when I get mine.
Everybody's been sending me emails waiting for another, in case you didn't know, episode anyway, Mike. Make it on that.
In case you didn't know. Okay.
The masses want to know why that is like that. Yeah.
All right. In case you didn't know. I've run out of time.
All right, cool though. Great job, Mike.
Thanks.
I can't wait to talk about, speaking of covers, referencing something I read today, and we're getting ready to go into red. So you know what? I might as well just stay at the forefront here. Anyway, is that fine with you, Mike?
Yep.
I know you usually like to be first, but we'll switch it up today.
Yeah, I can top off my coffee.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. I read a couple things. I'll keep them short and sweet, though. Feel like I'm already losing my voice with how much I've talked today. I read Silverhawks #1. Pat, did you say you were going to get this too? Because we talked about this on the previous preview.
No, I'm not interested in Silverhawks.
Never
watched the show. No nostalgia there for me.
Oh, okay, that was going to be another question I had, but you already answered that. You can't answer it then, because I watched the show. I remember loving it, but it's definitely, that's kind of where it ends for me. I remember loving it, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah,
aside from visuals and loving it. This was definitely an 80s show, right? A late 80s show, right?
I wouldn't say late 80s, but I could be wrong.
Okay. But anyway, this was written by Ed Brisson and the art's by Gorge Combades, something like that. Apologize for
me. You see how I butcher names.
Butchering that name, sorry. This cover is by Lucio Perillo, and it's actually not the cover I wanted. The cover I wanted was actually the one I highlighted. I think I'm the one that highlighted this on previous preview.
Yep.
And the cover I wanted was not in stock. It was another Lucio Perillo cover, but that was the first thing I want to point out. So check this out. These are the final 2 pages. These are all the covers.
Yeah, nuts, right?
Just this issue. It's so crazy. This is 72 covers.
That's dynamite for you.
For just this issue.
The only thing I'll say is I appreciate that they print them inside the comic. I mean, beyond that, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like this one though. So yeah, I was going to ask you what you remembered, if anything, Pat. You said you didn't really remember much, but it seems like this continues right after the ending of the Silverhawks cartoon, where the world that the Silverhawks, the universe, whatever, are protecting, Bedlama, has basically been saved, for lack of a better way to describe it. And I'm assuming, again, that may have happened at the end of the cartoons, where that's how the cartoons ended, hopefully. And this is kind of continuing from that there's the main baddie. His name is Monstrous, something like. the way it's put on here phonetically is kind of I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I should probably have these inputted so you can see them more easily. But that's the big baddie from Silverhawks. And basically, they put him away 100 years ago. This takes place, I'm assuming, again, after the cartoon, 100 years later, after they've basically saved the city of Bedlama, and now they're chilling and retiring. But of course, and why it took 100 years, who knows? But monsters minions free him from the intergalactic prison that he's been held in for 100 years. And the original Silverhawks are all old, and they realize they barely beat monsters to begin with, so they couldn't possibly do it again. So the Intergalactic Force 8, the IF8 for short, is actually killed in an explosion when they were trying to catch monsters from escaping the jail. So this issue ends with, it gives me a RoboCop feel, where this IF8 force that was killed trying to stop him from escaping from prison is going to be the new Silverhawk team. To be continued. So it's really simple. It's a really simple issue. Very short adventure here with just Monstar. That's what it is. I kept saying Monstar. Yeah. But Monstar escaping from prison, and the old Silverhawks talking about how they can't stop him. They're too old for that. And then the IF8 team that was killed trying to stop Monstar from escaping is going to become the new Silverhawks for subsequent issues, it seems. So it was fine. It was good. I like the art. And it's a decent start. Doesn't really have much to go on. I would definitely say it's good enough to be a must-have for Silverhawks fans. But I don't know if it's good enough to say get it for anyone else. So we'll just kind of leave that like that. So, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever I don't remember this from the 80s, it looks like it was 1986. But whenever I saw the solicitations and saw your presentation, I was like, that looks straight out of the 80s. That looks like a 1980s thing.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, looking at some Thundercats stuff too. I want to get the Thundercats stuff too. There's going to be a new spinoff with new Thundercat characters, which I love the cartoon as well. I love the Thundercat cartoon as well.
I think that's Dynamite. Dynamite's putting that out too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a boatload of covers for Thundercats. They look great.
Yeah.
We're into it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then continuing on, because I knew I didn't have a choice as to what I was going to review in this next episode, because I figured you were both on pins and needles after my last review. I read Spawn 361. Mike, do you remember what I said happened at the end of Spawn 360?
Is that where he got the signpost stuck through him?
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. He died.
Yeah.
So if we didn't know any better, there shouldn't be any more Spawn comics. So I think 361 came out the day after we had the last episode or something. We joked about that, but it's fine, Pat. I know you've been sweating it, been wondering. It's fine. Spawn's back alive. Okay, he did die though. he was resurrected by Queen Nyx, the Queen of Hell. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to give this to you as succinctly as I possibly can, okay? You know how we've talked about this many times. When you jump into an issue, it takes a few issues to catch up. I said the last issue that I kind of caught up. I was tracking with the story. Everything's good. This issue actually gives you the concise explanation of what's happened since issue 350. I'm going to run this through for you, Mike, okay? So Spawn fights this queen, this Nyx baddie, okay? He sends her to hell, okay? She's such a baddie, she takes over hell and becomes the queen of hell. So now she's got her sights set on heaven. She wants the top spot. She wants to literally take out God, okay? And her plan to do that is to send the vampire guy that I've been referencing the last few issues, Blood, to Earth to close off all the dead zones, strip all of Spawn and his buddies' powers from them, and take over the Earth. Because then, and this isn't exactly explained as to how it happened, but she alludes to the fact that then after that happens, when the moment's right, she uses something with Spawn to then make her way into heaven to become the biggest of all bigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got here. Then, of course, Spawn dies because he makes the decision that the Queen of Hell didn't see coming to actually still try to fight Blood and his minions, even though he's essentially just a human because he's lost all his powers. So that's why she has to now resurrect Spawn, because her plan is totally shot to hell, no pun intended. Her plan is totally shot to hell if Spawn's dead.
He needs him. He's part of the
grand plan, right?
being the dog there, yeah.
So she resurrects Spawn, and basically she has to emit this power that I can't exactly tell. It's actually a 2-panel thing. It might be like a time slip thing where they go backwards, but whatever. She emits this power that not only resurrects Spawn, but gives him his powers back and all of Spawn's buddies. So all of the Spawns now have all their powers back. Okay. And what does Spawn do as soon as he's resurrected by the Queen? What's his first thing he wants to do after she resurrects him? Mike?
Kill her.
Exactly. He kills her. Mike, you're nailing it today. So he repays his resurrection with killing her. But of course, she's still in hell. This is just an avatar that he basically kills because he rules the earth. And then all of Spawn's buddies kind of come back to him. And now they're after Blood, which basically the dead zones are still closed, but now Spawn's back to life. All the Spawn guys have their powers back, and now they're looking for Blood, figuratively and literally. Okay. So, but the Queen's fine with this because her sights are still set on heaven, and this has become more difficult because Spawn's got his powers back, but it's still kind of playing out the way she thinks will still work. But Blood's in trouble, I think. Blood and his minion vampires are in trouble. So that's what happens in this issue. It's pretty I liked it a lot, but it's aside from Spawn being resurrected, it's kind of uneventful. The build up, it seems like you got Spawn resurrected, which is awesome, but then it's a build up for what's to come next. So that's it for Spawn 361 for me. Get it. Oh, get it. Must have for Spawn fans. Get it. For everyone else, get it. Get 350 to now. All of them, if you haven't.
First, I thought that, it was kind of a cool cover. Then I cannot quit looking at the chains. What's going on with the chains? Why are they hanging so low? And emanating from certain areas, and why is Spawn shooting a Nerf gun with a safety tip?
Oh yeah.
No, that's he's fired it so many times. It's hot. It's hot. It's that
okay.
molten orange hot.
Okay.
But I think the chains are appropriate too, because that's the first thing he starts to use. It is kind of weird the way the choices as to placement and stuff, but that's the first thing he starts to use to fight the queen with. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. I like it, but yeah, now you've kind of messed with it a little bit for me. I might take some whiteout.
You can trade that in for a variant.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm just glad that I didn't put it in my pick 3 list.
Yet another reason why I love this show, Comics and Collectibles in Crawl Space, because man, I'm loving being back into Spawn and tracking, because that's what's tough. Jumping back in is one thing, but once you're tracking again, it just reminds you why we love this, and we've loved it for so long anyway, when you're completely tracking, so.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great just to constantly be able to read your whole entire stack on a
Yes, exactly. Keep up with all of them. That'd be so great. All right, Pat.
All right, me. Here's what I read: Bowling with Corpses and Other Strange Tales from Lands Unknown.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
Bowling with Corpses and Other Strange Tales from Lands Unknown.
Is that in the Hellboy universe?
It is not in the Hellboy universe,
Ah.
but it is by Mike Mignola. Colors by Dave Stewart, his longtime colors. This is a hardcover. This is book 1. $24.99 cover price, 112 pages. It's basically it's an anthology book. Basically what happened here is Mike Mignola, he kind of said he's done. He's retired.
Really?
But I think like many artists, he just kept having ideas rolling around in the back of his head. So he started compiling these ideas, and pretty soon it turned into a whole universe, a world. And that's what this book is. It's he said that once he got into it, it was the most fun he's had drawing comics in a long time. It kind of follows the Mike Mignola formula. He likes his folklore, so he'll pick out certain stories and either adapt them into the Hellboy universe, or in this case, he's creating this whole new world where he's pulling bits and pieces that he knows from Tales Past and twisting them to his liking to fit the narrative. Sometimes he'll pick, like he says, like this is a Japanese folklore tale, but I don't want to draw it and set in Japan, so we'll set it here with the characters that I want to use. And he does like he's done that quite a bit in Hellboy. But I think that's his main love. He loves folklore. He loves all these old tales, but he likes reinterpreting them and putting his twist on it.
Can I ask you a question regarding that?
Yeah.
So when did copyrights come around?
Oh, I have no idea.
Mike?
I don't know. The 30s? I don't know.
That's just totally a throw out, or you got some kind of knowledge, you think?
It's just a guess.
Well, let me ask you this. So here's the reason I'm asking. So anything prior, let's just say Mike's right, it's the 30s.
Oh, no, I'm way off. The history of copyright in the United States began with the enactment of the first copyright law in 1790.
1790? Holy macaroni.
Yeah.
That's got to be like when the first computer was, but then it was decades later before it was usual, though, right? It's got to be one of those.
It was modeled after Britain's statue of Anne. Early copyright law, protected books, maps, and charts for 14 years, with the option to renew after 14 years. So it seems.
Wow. Okay. So back up, Mike. It's still the same question, but back it up. So anything prior to 1790 is fair game for anybody to do anything they want with in any way, right?
I guess, unless in 1790 they would copyright it.
How could you copyright if you didn't own it already? If you couldn't, Well, I guess you could have proved
Point.
you owned it some way. Yeah.
Or somebody can just claim it as theirs. Who knows? I mean,
That would seem random.
right.
But I guess that does kind of answer my question, though. So I guess that's the game we play. I mean, I could, yeah, because that's what you're talking about with folklore with this. That's why I'm thinking about this, Pat, right? That he's got old folklore he's thinking about, and you can just do anything you want with it because it's so old that no one has any copyright on it, right? There's no, you can take any liberties you want, right, Pat?
I guess so. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. It's cool here. I enjoyed it.
All right. Anyway, continue. You just got me thinking about that with the way you said that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. There's not. I don't have much more to say about it. It's you start to see. You know, there's probably. I have one more story, one more short anthology story to go. I didn't get to finish it. There's also a nice sketchbook section in the back, which I appreciate. But I've probably read. There's probably like maybe 10 stories in here, and I've read 9, and you can see you saw right from the first story is the Bowling with Corpses story. It's exactly what it sounds like. You know, this little the character of the boy on the cover comes across these 3 skeleton looking fellas, and they say you can't pass through here, and he's like, well, you could pass through here, but come bowl with us if you can beat us at bowling. You know, we'll let you through. It's exactly what it is. And it just gets weirder and stranger from there, you know. But you start to notice right away after you start into the second story, but that there is world building going on here. Like I mentioned, you know, once he got into this, he started building worlds because things are mentioned from story to story. Characters are showing up from story to story. Symbolism, you see recurring symbolism. Certain characters pop up with familiar staffs. You know, you see again and again this like dragon-headed staff. You hear about the old gods and the new gods, and it's you know, you see these threads running through all of them. So there's definitely, like he said, he put thought into this. He actually, I read an interview where he said too much thought. You know, he says he tells people when they're creating books, come up with a character. That's your main hook. Come up with an interesting character. Don't worry about the bigger world at large. And he kind of said, well, I did things the opposite way here, where I started out and with this little tidbits of information, it started this world building and had to take it back to the characters. So, but you can definitely see that there's cohesiveness going on here. I will say, as I've talked about in other Mignola books in the past, where Hellboy wasn't necessarily involved, it's kind of a refreshing thing for people maybe on the outside that were always sort of hesitant to jump in, because you don't need to know anything about Hellboy here. You don't have to know anything about Mike Mignola's past work here. The only thing I'll say is it's always an issue. He's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people don't like his artwork. Obviously I love it. It's grown and evolved over the years. It continues to grow and evolve. The colors, like I said, Dave Stewart on colors. He's a perfect pairing with Mike Mignola. They've worked together for so many years. You know, they've talked about how he knows exactly what to do basically these days as far as coloring goes, and it just works so well. So that kind of leaves me, you know, and by the way, he said, you know, he's got tons more ideas. So this appears to be his main focus for the years to come is this world that he's created here with these new characters.
Do you know how many volumes this is going to be?
No, there's no plans at this time.
Ah, okay.
Hopefully it'll not be doomed to Dark Horse's futures, because they're apparently having some troubles, like a lot of the publishers these days.
So this is just currently one standalone hardcover for $25.
Correct. Yes.
Interesting.
So that it kind of leaves me where, how do I recommend this? And you know, because of sort of maybe saying, you know, like I said, he's not everybody's cup of tea. it's kind of hard to recommend to the general populace out there, but it's definitely a get it. I wouldn't say it's a must have for Mike Mignola fans. There's no doubt about that. And I'd say it's a get it for people who where his artwork appeals to them, but they didn't want the baggage of trying to figure out what was going on in the old Hellboy universe or whatever. And of course the cover price is a stumbling block too. It's hard to fork out $25 on an anthology, but this is a different kind of anthology because it's one creator doing all the stories, not a bunch of disassociated stories and plots and art styles. So I think it's a little easier sell, especially if you're a fan. So I'm just going to kind of leave it as a get it. And like I said, definitely if you're a Mignola fan, you probably already have it. So it's
probably
well, that brings a new question to me, actually, which I never thought about until just now. Do trades ever work in reverse?
Yeah, could they release these in individual?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Could they break it up? Have you ever heard of that ever happening in any way?
That's a good question. I feel like the answer is yes, but I can't come up with any examples right off the top of my head.
Well, this kind of makes sense, right? For the reasons you're saying, right? It makes sense, right?
Yeah, this would not work because some of the stories are just maybe they might be 3 pages, So,
you might be able to get
4 anthologies in one comic or something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, how many actual stories are in this?
I think there's like 10.
So you could get one comic that would be whatever length it needs to be 20, 30 pages for a comic, whatever,
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, it'd be easier for me to buy in that form. Just it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go to the store and spend $60 and not blink an eye.
Right.
Because I'm buying a bunch of little books. But if half of it is going to one book and it's only one item, but 120 pages, how many little books is that? It's a weird thing. It's a mind trick.
That sounds like our favorite comic book salesman. Every time Spider-Man comes out with a new supersized issue for $10, he's like, but it's like 60 pages. It's basically 3 books. You're only paying $10. You know how he sells that to you. It's just like that. Yeah.
But I was only looking forward to spending $3.99. I don't want all the extra. Just give me the regular.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
right.
That's funny what we do in our heads there.
It's the same thing. I've seen plenty of videos of that recently where people will be like, you want to sit down and watch a movie? I'm not really into a movie. I don't really want to commit that kind of time. Let's just watch a show. And then you binge 4 episodes,
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Cool.
Did you have another one, Pat, or is that it?
Nope, that's it.
That was like 6 issues, so that's why, that was a good week for you, Pat. Before I ever knew you, I definitely appreciated Mignola, mostly for Hellboy as opposed to his art. But, I definitely feel like since we've known each other and you've been an influence on that, I just dig his art too. And I didn't even put together though. We've had this conversation with me and my issues with noting colorists and inkers and stuff like that, as well as you guys do in the past. I don't really get that, but I guess if you're saying Dave Stewart's always been with Stewart, right? Dave Stewart, is that what you said? He's been with him all this time. It makes sense. Yeah. Cause as soon as you see anything he does, it's not only striking with the art, but also the colors and fitting, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like whenever there's the artistic team, the penciler and an inker and a colorist, or the penciler and then the colorist. Yeah, I love seeing those team efforts.
Yeah,
letter is the weirdest one for me. Can you identify letterers? Can you guys do that?
No.
Used to in the olden days, but now it's gone to a lot of computer lettering. So
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never been
A letterer identifier.
Yeah, a letterer identifier.
I mean, the obvious examples, it's two strong examples you can point to is Thor when Walt Simonson was doing it. John Workman, his lettering is instantly recognizable to me, at least. And he's a longtime collaborator with Walt. I mean, they do a lot. They do a lot of their work has been done together. And Tom, or is it Chesky or Zachowski? He was the X-Men letterer for a long time. He's one guy I do not like his lettering style, but I know a lot of people do like it. And to me, instantly recognizable is, that in the 80s through the 90s, he was all over the X-Men books doing the lettering there.
Yep, I couldn't pull it.
Yeah, that's definitely always escaped me. Inking still escapes me. And I appreciate, shout out to Johnny right now. He's the one that's literally put forth the most effort to expressing how I can identify inkers vividly and, know who they are just by seeing the inking. No, it's always escaped me. So anyway. So yeah. Okay, cool. All right, Mike, what you got?
As promised.
Nice.
Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. Number 1. Here we go, talking about price and page count. 37 pages for $3.99.
For only $3.99. Nice.
$3.99. Yep. Todd keeping it cheap.
That's $1 cheaper than you get 20 pages from DC prestigious format. Yeah.
Yeah, and the issue number 2 was $2.99. I think. Almost positive. But we'll talk about issue number 1. This came out way back in December 18th.
Way back in December.
Yeah. Written by Jimmy Palmiotti, and the artist is Patrick Leonard. Oh, she's laughing at my way back.
All right, I just want to do another Rivals plug real quick, and I'm not doing this to be annoying. It is just fitting for the moment, okay? It just struck me with you saying way back in December, because I've been complaining, or I just complained. That's why I told you I needed a break from Rivals this week to Maximus, that I'm tired of only being good with one character. I need to branch out. That's why I decided to be a main Invisible Woman, because I was only good with Cloak and Dagger. And then Max point, I was like, how can you be tired of playing one character? You used to play Overwatch for years. This has only been out for a month or two. And I'm like, a month or two? This has been out way longer than a month or two. Looked it up. Yeah, it came out in December. Like literally 2 months. I'm like, yeah, how am I feeling this way already? So yeah. Rivals has only been out for 2 months, but it made its stamp. Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
All right. Now, I read this 3 times.
Really?
Yes, because I was confused as to who the characters were. And not like on the page, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get this. But then there were time jumps and some of the characters, I'm like, is that the same guy? What's, my whole thing I started with was the very first character you see. I assumed that was the guy that was going to be the gunslinger. Okay. So I read it and I was like, I'm confused. I don't get it. How did he get from here to here? And I reread it. And by the third one, I finally realized that first guy wasn't the gunslinger. He was just some other guy. So it all kind of fell in. I was so confused I was annoyed.
Did you figure it out after the third read though? You're totally tracking with all of it?
Yes.
So you were annoyed, but you're not annoyed anymore.
I'm not annoyed anymore.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So now what I need to do is explain what happened in this book and not confuse anybody. There are a lot of characters.
Really? I would have
Yeah.
thought this was simple compared to like Scorched, because there's a lot of characters in Spawn, let alone Scorched, and this is a lot of characters too. Dadgum.
All right, so basically we start off with a man shows up at a sheriff's house looking for the sheriff, and that's the man that I thought was Gunslinger, but it's not. And he talks with the wife, you know, waiting for the sheriff to get home. And this is the page. There are a couple pages in this I just absolutely love. So there, you know, she asks him what he wants with her husband, and he says, "Well, if I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you. Still want to know?" And then she sits down. He looks at her. He says, "I lied. I'm going to kill you no matter what." And I was like, "Holy cow, that's so messed up." And he does. He kills her. So then the sheriff comes home and he kills the sheriff too. And then he's looking over the sheriff. He kind of morphs into the sheriff, like a shapeshifter almost. So he looks like the sheriff, goes in to the jail, and he's looking for this criminal named Whitlock who's locked up in the jail. He breaks him out and hires him and his gang. At the time this was happening, you don't know what he hired him to do. The guy's just like, "Hey, I'm all in because I was scheduled to hang today. So yeah, I'm your guy." They end up at the bar and stuff, and they kill this guy and they kidnap his wife. Now, there's a time jump earlier. That guy and wife were being robbed out in the prairie, and a stranger came along and saved them and said, "Look, just, you know, they're trying to repay him." He's like, "Just go on your way, and you know, your thanks is enough." Well, while that Whitlock guy kills the woman's husband and takes her and kidnaps her, that same stranger comes up and he tries to save her, and they end up, you know, the gang beats him, takes him out into the desert, and just drags him behind a horse. And while he's being drugged, he thinks the pain he feels now is still not as great as the pain of not finding and saving his sister years ago. And that pain triggered this change. And this is the change. That guy ends up being the gunslinger. And this I was going to read that whole yellow middle box there. It kind of describes it's all that pain is what causes a second skin to kind of just slash through him and create this gunslinger persona, or I mean, not really persona, because physically he's this new person.
He's a hellspawn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So after this change, you know, he's now making his way to the place where this guy Whitlock has the woman being held captive. And it turns out, now I find out that he was actually hired, that Whitlock was hired to torture this guy. And it makes me believe that the man that hired him knew that he had to go through that to trigger, I guess, the hellspawn or whatever had to trigger that in him to get him into that new form. Because now he wants Whitlock to kill him this time. Instead of just torturing him, he wants him to kill him. Yeah. So it was very confusing. One of my favorite parts is this here, where he shows up.
Just to track real quick.
Okay.
So the guy that was portraying the Reverend that morphed into the sheriff and freed Whitlock,
right,
becomes Gunslinger.
No, the stranger that helped the woman and her husband becomes the Gunslinger.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The guy that portrayed the Reverend at the beginning, he's still just a guy with red eyes.
With working with Whitlock.
Yeah, I hired Whitlock. But,
so you don't have any backstory on why?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
But I like this part here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, not yet. Where he says, "Remember me," and I have to make this big because I can't remember. It says, "Oh, how's this possible?" He says, "You can ask the devil," and then he shoots him. It's like, man, that is so crazy. So just some really cool writing. Once I got the flow and understood who was who and what was going on.
Well, it sounds like it might have been a little confusing since you don't exactly know the why yet, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is, I would say this is, it's a get it. The artwork is fantastic. And once I got it, I really liked it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read. I've got issue 2, and I think issue 2 came out January. Issue 3 came out last week. And then 4, 5, and 6 is March, April, May. And I don't know if it's going to be an ongoing or not. I haven't read anywhere one way or the other. But what I did realize, like you were saying, why do they need another gunslinger title? I think at some point, that obviously this is back in, I'm guessing they don't have a date, but I'm guessing the 1800s. There's a time jump. He does travel through time, and he ends up where, you know, the current storyline is. So I think what all this is going to do is tell the pre-time jump tales of the gunslinger. So
okay,
that's what I've gathered. So I liked it a lot. After it all started clicking, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was able to focus more on these cool little scenes here, because I wasn't so confused and trying to make heads or tails of what was what.
well, you know, Xcellar still has issue 1 through 6 gunslinger, so
Yeah, I think I have those ones. I need the later
Great.
ones. I stopped picking it up. I don't think there's a big demand for those, so the back issues should be fairly easy to
yeah, I think so, yeah.
dredge up somewhere.
I saw this interesting video with Todd McFarlane talking about how J. Scott Campbell was the original designer of She-Spawn, or her outfit or something, like not the concept of She-Spawn, but her original look and her first appearance or something. Did you guys see that?
I think I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
That was interesting. I don't see him accredited anywhere aside from that video. I looked for that being credited somewhere. And aside from Todd saying that, you know, he kind of gave the art responsibility for that issue to J. Scott Campbell, and then just kind of ran with it because he liked what J. Scott did. There's no credit anywhere for it, though. It's weird. I don't know. At least what I could find.
Yeah. You have the first 7 issues.
Well, you need to go read those before you even bother getting past 7.
Yeah. Well, I've also in reading some people's comments on the release pages of these. I don't know if I think it might be a second gunslinger, like a second person took over the gunslinger.
Oh, it's not even this guy.
Right. It's not even this. Right. So
yeah, that's what's always tricky with those hell spawns as well.
yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, this was good. I like the artwork. The writing was good once I figured it out. And, you know, there might be smarter people out there than me that really got it from the get-go, but I struggled with it. So yeah, I say get it. I think those are all my pages.
Awesome. I can't though, because I just get regular spawn.
Yeah, and that's another thing I like about this is I don't need all the other ones. I don't even need the current Gunslinger Spawn book to enjoy this, because this is all, you know, pre-time leap, time travel.
Basically a Western book with, you know, supernatural elements in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. And I like Westerns, and I like the character design and all that. So
Says Palmiotti, he's worked on Western books in the past. I think of Jonah Hex for a long time.
All right. So it's kind of in his wheelhouse there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the only other spawn that I still am unable to separate myself for that I want to read is the Night Spawn one, you know, the medieval spawn. Yeah. For the same reason this probably appeals to you, because you seem to be into kind of Westerns lately. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Westerns. So there you go. Get it.
All right.
A lot of writing.
Few solid get it's today with caveats. with, you know, a little bit of disclaimers to the get it's, but sounds like we all enjoyed ourselves. So hopefully everybody who checks them out will as well. So
yeah, I'm going to read issue 2 right away. If I didn't have to read that 3 times, I would have. It was the fact that it was reading it. Oh, you know what? I have issue. I think I have
was
issue-
there a lot of writing in it too, or was it just because you kept having to kind of check over? Basically, is it?
Yeah,
Was
there's
it a lot? Was it very wordy? I should say.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I have 2 and 3 because February 19th, issue 3 came out. Yeah, and I was at the store last week. So, yeah, I could have read 3 issues instead of issue number 1 3 times.
Right.
That's why first issues are so tricky. I mean, you have to be able to grab the reader right away.
Yeah.
And if there's nothing there to, you know, if it makes you want to give up,
Mhm.
you know, that's not a good thing, obviously. So
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I get they kind of they want to be tricky with the time, you know, because there's back and forth and you know instead of just being real linear in how they're telling it, it's a little of this and
Yeah, they got to be so complex to make you want more, but not so complex to confuse you and just drop it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Well, I told you guys that I would go back and give it another shot. So if it wasn't for that request, I probably would bail on it. So thanks.
Well, I'm glad you stuck it out. I'm interested to hear more because I definitely am interested in just more than the main Spawn title. So if both y'all read offshoot Spawn titles, I'd be so happy because I could just follow the story through what you guys are telling me. So. All right, cool. What you ready to talk about some problems with wallets? I'm hearing.
yeah.
All right.
Sorry. Had to get ready for Pat's segment. Got my popcorn. Let me go ahead and mute this so I don't bother anybody.
Oh man, I want some now.
Yeah, I could go for some popcorn myself. All right. Let's start with Hasbro, and this is kind of an odd one because this just popped up out of nowhere. I think last show we talked about a lot of GI Joe stuff being shown. So this was a little bit late to the party, or this snuck out. But this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for this year from GI Joe Classified, and it's the Cold Slither band from the animated series from the 80s. So it's Zartan and the Dreadnoks as this heavy metal band, Cold Slither. I'm sure this is it so far. I'm sure it's going to come in some deluxe packaging for San Diego, and it's going to be super expensive. But they seem to always put a little extra effort into their GI Joe exclusive for San Diego every year.
That's very cool. I don't even care if that's GI. It doesn't even make sense to me. It's GI Joe. That's just a cool band action figure set, right, Mike?
Yeah. So there was really this band in the GI Joe animated.
I can't remember the details, but I think they were like going undercover, you know, as this heavy metal band and shenanigans.
Very
like
cool.
A deep cut for action figures in it.
Which is what makes it a good exclusive, you know.
Yeah.
If you just want regular old GI Joe figures, maybe you can pass on this. But if you're a diehard Joe fan and you want these obscure characters, or you just even want a heavy metal band in action figure form, there you go.
Yeah,
True.
Pat, I want to make that request right now. If you can, in the future, if you ever see any good examples of these characters, in like a group band format where they're like standing around with their guitars and dudes sitting behind his drum set and so, something like that, to actually see how cool it looks kind of in action. That I would love to see that.
Boy, I think there may have been, but yeah, I just took this one pick here.
Cold Slither. That's great. Right.
Yes, it's weird because it must have been a leak because San Diego Comic-Con's months away, so I'm not sure what happened there. Stuff that wasn't a leak. They did 2 fan streams between the last show that we did. And the first one was a Marvel Legends fan stream, basically, or not basically, mostly focused on the Gamerverse, which is figures based off the video game characters. We got a whole lot of Spider-Man going on here. So we got from Spider-Man 2, the Miles Morales upgraded suit. We've got Peter Parker in the black suit from Spider-Man 2. We've got Peter Parker anti-Venom suit, which was an odd one to me because he's usually, like, again, I didn't play the games. Valor played them. I saw them out of the corner of my eye every so often, but and I know there's a ton of costumes involved as unlocks in that game. But I always envisioned anti-Venom as a white costume, sort of like the reverse of that, maybe. So that's kind of an odd one to me. Then we got Miles Morales Brooklyn 2099 suit.
That's cool.
And we've got Miles Morales Borrica suit with the Puerto Rican flag. I've actually seen when they did I think it was Miles as different characters, like a cover, alternate cover series a few years back. This is one, and
is Miles Puerto Rican?
He's half Puerto Rican, half African American, I believe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
His mother's Puerto Rican, I believe. Yeah. But there was a cool cover that came out of this, and actually they made a shirt of it. I always wanted to get that shirt because it just looked really good. And finally, the last one to round out the wave is Black Cat, or Felicia Hardy Black Cat, as they have on the box there.
Did you give a price on these?
They're probably $25 retail currently for Marvel Legends. There's the whole wave. Okay, so this is where my Marvel Rivals comment comes in.
Okay.
The entire live stream, people are like, where's the Marvel Rivals figures? Where's the Marvel Rivals figures? We don't want Spider-Man 2 video game figures. We want Marvel Rivals video game figures.
Checks out.
I guarantee you it's coming.
Yeah.
As long as the Hasbro continues to have the Marvel license. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up here.
Not that I need to sell Rivals more, but this is one thing I feel like I maybe didn't elaborate enough on. I've suggested that I really hope that Marvel Rivals helps comics, but I feel like definitely comics has helped Marvel Rivals. But aside from that, just how the gamers who don't even like comics and didn't even care about superheroes are loving Marvel Rivals too. So it can't be overstated, in my opinion, how big Marvel Rivals is constantly getting. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like this, like you're saying, it's got to be on their radar.
Definitely shouldn't be a bad thing for comic books, right?
Yeah. How long would you say, and this might just be speculation, you might not know, or maybe you do, but from concept to when they have the idea, we want to put these figures out, to when they get to this point right here where you can pre-order them, what would you think that time frame would be?
And it seems like in Hasbro's case, it's about a year, maybe.
So yeah, that's about when Spider-Man 2 was big, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So that makes sense then. So hopefully it won't be a year for Rivals, but maybe that's what, if you're correct that it's about a year time frame, that's just kind of how it has to work out, especially if we want it to be good, right?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where they have, first of all, they have to, you see it with movies, they get a lot of pre-production artwork. They can start working on the figures. But in Hasbro, unfortunately, in Hasbro's case, they may be a little gun shy. Like they're like, hey, we made all these Eternals figures, we made all these Wakanda Forever figures, and they sold horribly. Do we commit all our R&D into making Marvel Rivals, and we don't know if the game is going to be a hit?
Could have sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things,
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens with all companies, but lately with Hasbro has definitely felt the brunt of that recently.
A few failures in a row will make you more gun shy than usual, right? Yeah,
exactly.
All right.
They had a few more Marvel Rivals. They had a few more Gamerverse figures to round out this live stream. The first is a Walmart exclusive Spirit Spider.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
Mike, you're muted if you didn't know. Are you saying anything, or you just don't want us to hear your popcorn chomping?
Enjoying his popcorn.
Yeah, it was my popcorn, but I did have a that you missed.
An insightful.
Is this supposed to look like a combination of Ghost Rider and Spider-Man?
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Was this in the Spider-Man game or the Spider-Man 2 game? I was probably Spider-Man, right?
Looks like it's labeled just Spider-Man 1. Yeah. So I don't know if he was a skin in that game or not. He's like I said, Walmart exclusive, $25. Another exclusive from Amazon, the $40 Kingpin.
Wow, that's cool.
That looks pretty cool. Yeah.
There's some reuse going on here. They're either using a previous Kingpin or Joe Fixit bodies or something, putting some new heads on. But it works. It's kind of weird to see.
His hands, or is that just a reflection off the bubble wrap?
I think it's just a reflection.
Okay.
It's kind of weird to see Kingpin in black, I guess, but
yeah,
it looks pretty good, I think. And the last one is a deluxe. I don't believe he's exclusive, and that is your gigantic in the game $60 Venom. So big he can barely fit in the packaging there.
He looks awesome. That looks really good.
Unfortunately, because I had so many pictures, I didn't have any out of box out of all these figures, but they were kind of touting the fact that they believe this is the first drool accessory ever included with an action figure. You can kind of see it to the side off of the head there, that little translucent piece.
That's gross.
I like it. Okay.
That's like a 1 per case size box though, right?
Yeah, he'll ship on his own. I should have at least included a picture of Venom with a Spider-Man figure, because just like the game, for some reason they made Venom gigantic. I guess at the end he's like 3 times the height of Spider-Man. So yeah, that's why the extra large packaging figure and price tag.
60, good lord.
Yeah.
How many comic books is that? That's like 2 graphic novels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only 10 or 11.
Yep.
Yep.
And for some reason, this was the odd man out of this live stream. That was an X-Force 2-pack of Warpath and X-23. And that is $50. $25.
I don't like either of those.
Yeah, she looks more like Elvira than X-23.
Huh.
Right? Look at that face. Seriously, right?
Yeah.
And then Warpath is just X-Force's Thunderbird, right? I mean, it's the same guy, right? Isn't it a resurrected Thunderbird?
Warpath is his son.
Oh, it's his son. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
I believe last time I checked, but things could have definitely changed. So
yeah, I'll save my $60.
Yeah.
50. Incidentally, the newest skin in Rivals for Incredible Hulk is what's his name? Hulk's son. What's his name?
Scar.
Yeah, Scar. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say the latest. You showed the latest earlier, Mike, with the demon whatever one, but the one prior to that was Scar. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
All right. So that was like 2 weeks ago, the Marvel live stream. This week we had a Star Wars live stream. And I forget did they say they said there was mainly going to be vintage series focused, but they showed, I'd say, equally Black Series and vintage. We'll stick with 6-inch Black Series, and that is Moff Gideon with his Dark Trooper armor.
Very nice. That looks very nice. Very cool.
Yeah, I like it. The Imperial Praetorian Guard from The Mandalorian.
I'm a fan. Tyler hates these. I'm a fan. I like them too.
And 2 from the recently dropped trailer, Andor Season 2. We have Andor as a test pilot.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
And we have Director Krennic.
Okay.
That one looks kind of funky.
Basically, this one is just the first release of Krennic, but they have now use the laser printing on the faces, so they hyped up the fact that his face was a lot more closer to the actor than previous.
Disagree.
It's the shape on this one. It's not necessarily just the.
Well, I don't think his face looks more accurate either.
That's
What
what
do
I
you
mean.
think, Pat?
Face doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe with some different shots could have maybe swayed you one way or the other, but
maybe.
Yeah.
I would say this Andor Season 2 is the most excited I've been for Star Wars in a long time.
Odd trailer though, wouldn't you say? Odd music choice for a Star Wars product.
You know what? I may have listened to it silently. I think I was playing Rivals when I watched it, so I couldn't hear it. I could only see it. What was it?
It's a Steve Earle song.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it. But it didn't seem to fit Star Wars, but yet it did seem to fit, the gist of what they're going for, maybe with season 2.
Hey Kevin, I gave you a couple of Steve Earle CDs. Did you get all those?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. You know what our problem is? Sorry, Pat, we're hijacking. You know what our problem is with that? We want all of those, by the way. But you know what our problem is?
CD player?
We don't have a CD player anymore. Now we're gonna have to buy.
Yeah. That's what I'm grateful my truck has one.
We're gonna have to go down to the Goodwill and pick up one for $5 or something. Yeah.
I have a question on these, the Black Series. So this one's number 15. Is that 15 in the Andor Black Series series?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one you showed was like 50 some. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a regular, or this one's 43.
And Mandalorian. Can you believe there's been 43 figures in the Mandalorian series? When they were talking about that, I thought to myself during the live stream, I was like, yeah, and 25 of them are the Mandalorian himself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 44 and 43.
43.
So
25 of the Mandalorian, 15 of them are Grogu.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't believe I don't remember seeing him in the TIE pilot outfit in the trailer, but it looks cool. And they made the statement, of course, true, but trying to get more sales is you pop the helmet on him, he's an army builder TIE fighter pilot,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then to finish off the 6-inch Black Series, there is a Walmart exclusive. I don't know if these are going to be the only 3, but these are 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith figures with throwback packaging to the original Revenge of the Sith figures. We have Count Dooku. We have R2D2, and we have Kit Fisto.
Nice.
Yep. Speaking of that, are you going, Kevin?
Say that again. Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, I'm going.
Yeah, I think Max is gonna be home then too, and he really wants to go too. So yeah,
That'd be cool. I'll drag Marcus along too. I asked him like, "You want to go?" And he goes, "I'm like, you're going."
How about you, Pat?
I'd definitely go.
Yeah,
I don't have any plans right now, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially since the world's so different. It's gonna be a different experience, which you wish, at least what I'm envisioning now, the experience will be like for seeing Revenge of the Sith in 2025. You wish the experience originally when it came out would have been what I'm assuming it'll be now. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
It was so pandered, panned, and the prequels in general were panned. So by the time Revenge of the Sith came out, the excitement level wasn't what I thought it would be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow you now. Yeah, sorry about that. Black Series. Finally, that was it for Black Series. Again, those three are Walmart exclusives, so good luck with that. And finally, moving on to Vintage Series 3 3/4 inch figures. Remember, because of the Mos Eisley Cantina, the HasLab, they're sort of on that Tatooine Cantina kick, and they're doing all kinds of figures for that. So we have Ponda Baba, good old Walrus Man with detachable arm. And I think, but I'm not certain about this. This is the first time that they included both kinds of hands, because in some of the shots you see that weird disky looking hand, padded hand on them, and sometimes you don't. So they included both of them here.
Why is there a third arm, Pat? Why isn't the detachable arms just one of his arms?
Good question. I don't know.
That's so weird, right?
I'm trying to come up with the logistics there. And I can't. Why is it that way? Because the hands are obviously all swappable.
Right.
Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're not on the right arm. That would be stupid, though. Why would they do that?
Make a whole other arm rather than just making a separate hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only logical thing I can think of for the reasoning there, though.
Some dummy in charge made that decision. I'm telling you.
Oh, there in the very corner there, you can see an enlarged view of his weird hand there.
Yeah.
And then we have two. Well, they did one thing I don't have a picture of, but they showed as a pipeline reveal is a new version of the land speeder, of Luke's land speeder. So nothing really exciting there, but it'll be a new version of it. These two. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Was there ever any packaging with him referred to as Walrus Man?
I think that was his original packaging.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, as you'll see with this next character, they put the dual naming on the next one as a deluxe figure. That's Moma Nadon, or Hammerhead as we knew him.
That should be the opposite. It should be Hammerhead and then the Moma Nadon on the bottom.
Yeah. That's also why are they doing it here, but with Ponda Baba, they're not saying Walrus.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the big talking point among Star Wars collectors here was the trend that they recently have gone to. Cobb Vanth from The Mandalorian got the same treatment, where in the Vintage series, he's basically a normal little figure. Maybe he has some extra doodads here and there. But they started this deluxe line and charging you like an extra $10 or whatever. So this Hammerhead is a deluxe figure.
Hold on, go back to Walrus Man. Let's debunk this right now, okay? He's got an extra arm. And his gun and an extra hand. Go back to Hammerhead. So he's got a staff, an extra hand, a gun, and let's say that extra gun is the arm, or even the staff's the arm. It's the same. What is that? A cup? Is that?
Yeah, don't forget his tasty beverage.
Oh, okay, man. So everything aside from the tasty beverage is the same amount. Yeah, deluxe is a scam. It's a scam.
Yeah, I think it's angering a lot of vintage series collectors. So that not only did they put out one, they put out two, because we have an Imperial Armored Commando from The Mandalorian. They're calling a deluxe figure as well.
He's cool though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think the current retail price of the vintage series figures like Ponda Baba is $17.99, and I think deluxe figures, if I'm going by Cobb Vanth, was $24.99. Which, man, it seems like so out of whack. It's the same price as a 6-inch Black Series Star Wars figure. So I don't know. $17.99 is too much for the regular vintage, in my opinion, but that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who knows about toy companies these days? Let's ask Todd McFarlane what's up. See his latest offering. Not much shown this week. In these last two intervening weeks, we have, here's a head scratcher for you, but it's Todd being Todd and trying to get some reuse out of his molds. We have Titano versus Flash 2-pack. He looks vaguely familiar to the King Kong figure that came in the Batman King Kong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here we get Flash standing still in the packaging and running outside the packaging.
Yeah.
There's a twist for you.
Yeah, they look cool in the packaging.
Well, I was thinking they look cooler outside the packaging.
No, it looks like a buddy film in the packaging. Like Buddy Flash.
Yeah. I mean, it does look kind of cool, even though it looks like just a repaint or whatever. But
yep, repaint with some extra modifications. Yeah, not a lot of excitement around this one, I don't think. But that was not the big news McFarlane related this week, because he may be a victim of this news that came out late in the week that the DC license has been awarded back to Mattel, which people are inferring means the end of Todd's tie-ins in licensing agreement with DC. No more DC multiverse figures. No more Jokerized figures. No more frozen versions of figures.
Huh.
No more Todd's mods.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, the license, the product from Mattel is supposed to start hitting mid 2026. That was the one thing I couldn't find, was a response from Todd or a clarification that he would not have the license in any form whatsoever moving forward. So,
well, maybe he's negotiating,
maybe.
I guess just who he's negotiating with would change, right?
Maybe.
You have to negotiate with Mattel. Because Mattel might be like Hasbro, right? With what's changed with Hasbro, right? Hasbro just not making toys anymore, just outsourcing it to other people, right? That's
that report was overblown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was sort of sensationalized. The plans could obviously change, but it was overhyped because of like them sub licensing out the Power Rangers to Playmates.
That was the only one
so far. There could be
people
more.
Were just spec in for a story.
Plus, there was some reports coming out that Hasbro was going to try to move more towards the gaming side of their, company, but who knows? But it also led to some other side speculation that, maybe Todd saw the writing on the wall, and that's why he tried to get any kind of inroads with Marvel and started those static statues,
Yeah.
and that possibly he'll take over the Marvel license in the future, so who knows?
I know a lot of people, excuse me, I was reading a lot of people were glad to see this because the Mattel figures will be more in line with the Marvel figures as far as the size.
That was always one thing that was kind of head scratching, is that Todd decided to make the DC figure 7-inch. And the general thought is, maybe we'll get 6-inch figures.
Yeah.
7 is kind of the oddball. 6 is kind of, the typical 2-up scale of figures. So who knows?
Right. So wouldn't that be crazy if Todd got Marvel and made Marvel 7 and now DC is 6 and everybody like
exactly. Yeah. Who knows? Or maybe he's not going to get either license, and you say goodbye to those $3.99 books anymore. So I heard people lamenting from both sides of the fence. There's definitely a large segment out there that collects Todd's DC multiverse figures. Obviously there's been criticisms out there, that he doesn't believe that female figures sell. We've got 25 million Batman figures, and I think we just recently got the first normal looking Wonder Woman figure after 5 years of him having the license. So who knows what will come. What will come next is some high priced collectibles from Mondo. This is kind of different for our show. We have the Adventure Time 2-pack here of Jake and Finn. Now there are two versions. There's a standard edition for $135 and a limited edition for $145.
Do you know how those faces work?
Yeah, I imagine they just pop out. They're like on little pegs and they pop in and out.
If these were reasonably priced, I'd have to get them for court. For $135, I love her, but no.
You don't Mondo love her.
I'm getting her the comic. There's an Adventure Time comic coming out again. I'm gonna get her that. But
they're pretty great. Yeah, Adventure Time is pretty great.
There's some shots. Show you the scale. 8.5 inches.
Wow, those are pretty nice though.
Can you go back?
Yeah.
What? Okay, I'm playing with these guys. Okay, here, envision this. Okay, I'm playing with these guys. What am I doing with the pie and the sub? What am I doing with those? Or am I tucking this under their arm? Am I pretending to feed it to them? What am I doing? What's happening here?
Yeah, hey, it's up to you. Use your imagination.
Obviously, you're too old to play with them then if you don't.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay. I do like I'm not familiar enough with Adventure Time. Is there a character that is a Game Boy? Is that what it is?
Yes.
And what's Nintendo? What's Nintendo have to say about this? I want to know.
I don't believe they ever caused any ruckus about it. Maybe it's generic enough.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a lot of generic Game Boys now. They come with 8,000 pre-downloaded games and all that crap.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Very cool. But yeah, 135, $45. Dadgum.
Yeah. So Finn 8.5, Jake 5 inches. There they are, sort of a group shot, and there they are in a nice background shot.
Those are great.
Sticking with Mondo, their other offering for the week is what they're calling a timed edition of Wolverine from X-Men, the new series of X-Men 97. They've previously done a Wolverine figure. This timed edition, I think, goes, it's on my, I always do this to myself. It's always on my preliminary sheet where I scratch down everything. I had the date and I had the number of days. But you have to get this ordered. I had to double check myself. $245.
Daggum.
There he is scale wise. He's 10.5 inches. Here he is with the older figure. The new one is the shorter figure. The older one, based on the original animated series, is on the other side there. So yeah, it little refinements, but basically kind of the same figure with all these accessories, multiple heads, multiple hands, a shirtless torso. They were hyping that up quite a bit. What you can snap on the little bits of ripped costume on the top there. And it comes with an enamel pin of the oft recreated meme of Wolverine gazing lovingly at the photo of Scott and Jean.
Yeah.
Pin, but perfectly scaled to fit in his hands.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. It's interesting how they've got the blades where they just come in and out of his hands rather than swappable hands with blades, right?
Yep.
Is that new or is it just me?
It's Hasbro has done it on some of their figures, but I think it's certainly probably not as cost effective doing it this way. So that's why they're charging you $245, so you can individually pose your claws, Kevin.
You can put like one claw out and the other one's in.
Yes.
What's the random piece of yellow and gray scrap cloth in the middle there? What's that? Where's that supposed to go, Pat?
Yeah, that's his ripped costume. So you can like snap it onto his bare torso there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So you can either have it the whole way off or partially off.
Okay. Wow. I guess you ate for details.
Options.
Optional details. Yep.
Okay. Mondo wasn't expensive enough. Oh, they're very close in price here. We'll do some hot toys. Hot toys, everyone. Here's a comic book version of Agent Venom for $280.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
There you go.
I've said many times Agent Venom is probably my favorite form of Venom. I really liked Flash Thompson's time as Agent Venom.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's totally sick. Absolutely.
Let's see, talking about sick. I don't know about this next one. We have from Captain America: Brave New World, Red Hulk.
Nope.
Man. Ironically enough, I think where this fails a little bit is the torso. He's looking just too much like a normal dude. I think the face is actually pretty good, but I feel like that torso, a big, like that looks like the torso of some NFL players I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm only slightly joking. It just I don't feel like it looks hulky enough. Is it just me here, guys? Is that what Mike? You think what'd you say about his face?
It looks too real. It's creepy. It looks way too real.
Oh,
yeah.
I
think he needs the upper to be more massive. It looks like, that's
a normal big dude, the normal bodybuilder guy. Yeah,
big guy.
Lou Ferrigno could pull this Red Hulk off.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't get a price on him. He's probably over the $300 mark, being he's an oversized Hulk. So
you know what else too? He barely looks red. Like I feel like Red Hulk is like crazy red. This is just a bad sunburn.
He's Rusty Hulk.
You know what I'm saying? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Pat, you haven't said anything about it. You just let us talk. How do you feel about this?
About the redness?
The redness, his face, his body, all of it.
I can just only go by the trailers because I haven't seen the movie yet. I think like the close-up portrait on the right side there, he looks like somebody. He looks like a real person, but I'm not sure if he looks like Harrison Ford as the Hulk somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I can see it, but I can't see it.
Gotcha.
There's certain glimpses of Harrison Ford in there, but other times it looks too weird. I don't know. And as far as the color goes, same thing. I don't know. Maybe he's not that red in the movie. I don't know. I don't know.
I've had the complete ending spoiled.
Yeah.
And not that, and I really wasn't caring to not have it spoiled. I wanted to see it. So I actually watched it when it popped up, and he looks really red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bad lighting then.
Yeah, maybe that's a whole other thing. Yeah.
All right.
I had something out. Are you avoiding spoilers really well with Captain America?
I'm trying, but you know how it is.
Yeah, I had a whole other thing spoiled I didn't even know about. Let me tell you about it.
No.
I haven't had anything spoiled. You know why?
You don't care in general?
I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I've had 3 major spoilers now for me. I feel like there can't be any more that I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think I've heard or seen some things, but I've looked at them out of the corner of my eye, so I'm not sure if they're true or if I saw what I saw. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Well, you'll see if you saw what you saw.
Exactly.
I'm actually close to being convinced. If I had the time and money, wasn't an issue at all to wanting to see this in theaters. I don't know if I'll get there before its time in theaters ends though. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would also like to see it in theaters. I mean, I'm jealous of. I watch this one YouTuber, Serial at Midnight, Heath Holland, and he keeps touting the AMC A list, and it's like $20 and you can see 4 movies a month. I'm like, damn, wish I had an AMC in my town, or I'd probably get on that, But then,
yeah, I think it.
If you're by yourself, but
I think it might be more than that. Actually, are you sure?
See more.
You can see more. From what I remember, because I used to be a part of it, because we have an AMC here. I thought it was 3 a week, wasn't it, Mike? Didn't we talk about having that one time?
I know it used to be really good, and then they adjusted it.
Oh, they downgraded it.
Yeah, they downgraded it some.
Yeah, still 4 a month is really reasonable and realistic too. That was the other thing. I signed up for that 3 a week because it was such a great deal, but I paid for it like 3 months and then I canceled it because I only went and saw 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because you got to rely on a good product coming out to make it worth its while too, or at least
have the time. It's like a gym membership, like we talked about off air,
Yeah.
If you're not going to use it, I don't know.
That's where they get you. That's where they get you.
Yeah, that's how they can afford to charge $20 because they're hoping that they don't get the people in. I don't know. Anyway, last on my list. I don't know if you can remember back to the tease at all, but this is a big boy.
I'm already broke, Pat. You broke me here.
Yeah.
The Hulk.
This is from Four Horsemen. We talk about their mythic legions, their own in-house line of toys. They just come up with stuff on their own. And I guess they're trying to make a centerpiece for all of your figures in this mythic legions line. And we have Baethir the Dragon. Okay. Now, he is going to be crowdfunded. They need 2,000 orders starting March 7th, and it will run for 30 days.
This is that totally fictional made-up universe, right?
Yes, exactly. We'll go through some pictures here before I reveal the price. There's another glamour shot of him. Here he is on a black background to kind of get you an idea of what's going on there.
Did you say the scale yet?
Nope, it's coming.
Okay.
So they need 2,000 orders. Okay.
Yeah. Here he is. He does come with a flame effect.
That's cool.
Okay. Here we start to get some sizing, some dimensions on the figure.
That's big. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Almost 3 feet long and 2 feet tall.
That's a yardstick.
Yep. So, and of course there his tail is tucked in. He doesn't have the flame effect. So if we got a shot of that, he's nearly 6 feet long, total from tip of flame to tip of tail.
Wow. Can you go back to that other one?
Which one?
The
This
previous picture? Yeah.
Yeah.
So his tail curls in. That's a weird way to measure him with his tail curled in, his tail out.
Wow. Yeah.
I guess that would be shortest long. I guess it's not crazy. Okay. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, and so there he is, 6 feet. Who has room for this guy? Here he is with, to give you an idea of the scale. The guy in the red tunic there, that's a basic 6-inch scale figure, like your Marvel Legends, your Star Wars Black Series.
Hold on a second. I don't remember seeing any of these characters. So are these coming out all the time? You just only shown us a few choice ones? Is that
they've had so much out there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think maybe that looks like maybe the horse from the Headless Horseman. I thought I showed him possibly at one point.
Yeah, that's you may have, yeah.
Yeah. So they have this in this. I don't know if this is all Mythic Legions figures shown, to get a gauge of scale here, but they have a couple different offshoots. So they've had tons of lines out there for many years. So
okay. I was totally under the impression this was like fresh and there was hardly any yet. Okay.
No, it's been going on for a few years. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Can we guess on price?
Yeah. That was kind of what I was leading towards.
Okay, good. I didn't want you to say it before we had to guess. Okay.
Can you go one back again?
Yeah.
So this is the other thing too with those wings. They go from 22 inches to spread out 6 inches. Do you know what this thing's made of too? Is this like a solid plastic or is this like some kind of malleable, like his neck is articulate? Because obviously his tail can, so do you know what his body's made of? Do you have that?
I do not. It looks, I'm guessing you can see some joints in there, but I don't know, as far as
like that poppy thing where you can't see the joints, but it like
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I don't really know about details of, I would assume he's similar to how they make their normal action figures, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, he is awesome. You gonna guess first, Mike?
I have one written down. I can guess. I feel like I'm way off though. I think.
Okay, go ahead. You can go first.
I put 650.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go that high. I'm gonna say 375.
I was up from 450 and I changed it, but yeah, 650.
By Price is Right rules, Kevin wins, but Mike was very close. He's closer, 550.
Daggum, man.
Okay, so 2,000 times 550, $1.1 million.
Yeah.
There's two things crazy about that. One, that sounds crazy, and then two, watch them do it.
Yeah, no kidding. When does it start? March 7th or something?
March 7th, correct. And they sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead, Ken.
They seem to be indicating that there are unlockable tiers, not add-ons, but unlockable tiers for this too. So it kind of, when you on face value here, I think that seems kind of obvious because all he does is come with a flame effect. So there's probably going to be more, if you back this project, you're going to get more than the initial, what is shown right here, but that remains to be seen.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, looks good.
It's awesome though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's it. Wrapping up with the dragon this week on the horizon.
Let's see.
Nice.
What did you say? 550 divided by 299.
What was his name again? Bethariel?
Beyathir. Beyithirr. Beyathir or Beyathir.
Beyathir. Sorry.
Beyathir.
I'm gonna for Pat's segment, I'm gonna start pricing all of the action figures as the comic books. That's 137 comic books.
At $5? No, $4.
No, at $3.99 at $4.
Yeah.
I know most of them are going to $4.99. I'm sticking with $3.99.
Are most of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you might be right. I really want that dragon. I follow this Gen X toy page, and one toy, man, it really hit me on the feels because I think it's one of those things you don't really even realize until someone puts it in your face or think about, But I didn't realize how much I had this toy in my heart, and I feel like maybe it was my first larger scale toy. Was the Space 1999? The spaceship, the one with the 4 feet and really long with the head that came off, and you could attach the engine to the head. The cockpit, you could attach the engine from the back onto the cockpit and make it a small shuttle. So cool. Love that. So yeah, man, I
had the blaster. I think it was like this or something. It was a squirt gun.
Yeah. I remember we talked about that before. Yeah, I totally remember that too. I think it was just it totally encompassed your hand, and it had 4 spots. Yeah. That's the bad part about this. I mean, obviously that dragon is awesome. I want it. If I had $550 to spare, like it was lunch money, I'd probably buy it. But I feel like that awesomeness isn't for a kid, but it should be.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. We touched on that before. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That'd be the most awesome
you would think a kid would go crazy with something like that. Like if you could transport that back to yourself as a 10-year-old boy,
oh my God,
you would lose your mind.
Yes, exactly. But it is what it is. It takes a lot of money to make these things, and there's all kinds of other things involved in the current day and age that cost a lot of money to pull these things off. So,
what was ironic about this announcement of this dragon was yesterday I was in Ross, and I saw a McFarlane dragon. Was it Game of Thrones related? I'm not sure.
Well, they just re-released he just made another Dragons series, didn't he? Didn't he just re-release it?
I think that is true, but for some reason I'm thinking this was Game of Thrones related dragon.
Okay.
And I think it was $3.99. I almost texted you, Kevin, and said, that's why I think it was Game of Thrones, because I was going to text you and say, you have any interest whatsoever? It's kind of hard to
$3.99.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get a gist of what exactly, because they're all like folded up inside the box. You can't really get an idea of their scale or a lot of the details. But yeah, yesterday it was I don't want to prolong our already 3-hour show, but this is what I found at Ross yesterday. I found Robot Batman from Batman 66 line for $4.99.
That's awesome.
I'm going to Ross today.
Here's one of the well, let me know if you're going, because I want you to keep an eye out for this next thing. Okay. Ross, they talk about RossCon because they geared up. The last 2 years have been amazing at Ross. They've gotten a lot of closeout stuff like this, and it kind of peters off after Christmas, but stuff is still showing up. Like case in fact, this McFarlane stuff. And this is the other thing I found. $3.99 for the Brainiac Superpowers skull ship.
Oh wow, man! $3.99. How much was that originally?
It was $20.
Yeah,
still $4. Sure.
Yeah.
The thing that killed me about this is they had 2 of these, but this was also it shipped with the Blue Beetle bug, which is what I really wanted. I actually wanted that vehicle. I was keeping an eye on it, to see if it would go on clearance. I think it was $25. But since I didn't realize this stuff was like hitting Ross, and since then I've come to find out that the bug is at Ross. It's $4.99 at Ross, I believe.
Where do we have a Ross, Mike?
The mall.
Oh,
there's one. It's inside the mall.
Oh, in the middle, like in the middle section, right?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Where? Because Cora and I went there.
Oh yeah, I never go in there. Yeah, well, the next time
I went
go
there specifically for Cora. She went something.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on your Ross. Also, it seems like they're getting another in this current wave of McFarlane dump offs. They're getting like the large, oversized DC Multiverse figures, and they're like $5 or $6. It's ridiculous. He's definitely. I don't know Todd's deal for closing out his merchandise. I don't know if he's writing it off. He gets a really good write off because the amount he's charging Ross to take the stuff off his hands, and in turn Ross charging these super low prices. He must be giving them a great deal or something, because if they can charge $3.99,
or his markups are crazy.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
All right, well, that was awesome, Pat. I'm not kidding. Where I wanted to join Mike with the popcorn. I think I'm gonna do that every show from now on, Mike. That was a great idea, because I love our entire show, but Pat, your segment is especially awesome. That and you know what? I think that's what it is. The way you kind of play it, and we get this peak of just ridiculous. We'd never buy that, but seeing it is just. I think that's a really great part of it, Pat. So great job. Yeah.
Thanks. Go back and read that teaser. Not to kill a joke, but.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you about that. It was something that could potentially put a massive drag on your wallet.
Oh, drag on your wallet.
Yeah.
Oh,
when you have to explain the joke, I wasn't even going to say anything. I was hoping, I might just sit there and, when Kevin's watching this, 3 years from now, he's like, wait a minute, drag on.
That's good.
I feel like that is good. The only reason that needs explained is because we are so far from when it was said to when it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. See, you've got the best teaser.
It's stupid. That's why it's good.
Exactly. All right. Do we change back over here already? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's wrap this. I didn't realize until you said that's how great this show is, Mike. You feeling the same way too? I didn't realize it was 3 hours until Pat just said it. How about you, Mike?
I looked at 2 hours and 30 minutes about a half hour ago.
Okay, so you mean yes. Okay, let's get this going. Unfortunately, I don't even have anything to pretend to unwrap. I completely failed, which is ironic because this is the week that I decided last show I was really going to be mad at you guys if you didn't have anything. And here I don't have anything. So go ahead and be mad at me.
I am.
Sorry about it. What do you got, Pat?
Well, I had two choices, but I figured out since I had a ton of these still to go, I'm going to do another, Star Wars Dorbs. Not Dorbs. Yeah.
Dorables.
Dorables.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I'm still not quite in. I'm hoping these things die off before I finally get sucked in. That's my plan. That's my strategy to not buy any. What you got, Mike?
Oh, we've got this little Harry Potter Bitty Pop. So hoping this is gonna be for Emily. So I'm hoping to get. I wanted Snape, but I don't see him as an option on here. So I guess Hermione.
Hey Pat, that might be something you might be more familiar with than me and Mike are. Is it usual that what they have in the line is on the bag, or is there way more than they ever put on the bags and boxes?
I think it just depends. Just depends. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess my recap, nothing clever about it, is definitely don't assume because it has big actors in it, it's not going to be big budget. And don't assume because it has big has-been actors that it's small budget. You can't, none of that's all just to the wind. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Big actors can do little budget can be big. You know, it's, yeah, you can't make any frame of reference there.
Yep.
That
I'd say, that after 4 years, you better learn your cough button from your camera button. But here's that. Like I said, I got 4 of these dudes, and even each little Death Star. I mean, I think there's another Rex. I think I already had Rex.
nice. So there's 4 wrapped up ones in each Death Star, huh?
Correct.
That's cool. How much is that thing?
Well, they were on clearance for $3.
You get 4 little Doorables for $3. That's a deal.
Jar Jar Binks. I didn't have him.
I'm a Jar Jar fan all day and all night. Love Jar Jar.
Number 12. No, this is Rey. Got the lightsaber.
Nice.
I was Padme for a second.
Did you say what you were hoping for?
I'm hoping for any of the ones I don't already have.
Okay.
And finally, number 20, Poe Dameron.
Nice.
Not cool.
I think I had Rex. I don't think I had the other ones.
All right. Well, you get one winner out of a blind box. You call it a win. I mean, one you didn't have, you call it a win. That's what I do, at least.
Yep.
Especially when you're getting especially with trading cards. For me, if I open one pack and at least one card in there I didn't have already, it's a winner for me. Yeah. All right, Mike.
Right. Here's my recap. I was keeping count today. Kevin mentioned Rivals 6 times. Pat mentioned Rivals once. And for Emily, we got Hagrid, which
Nice.
actually that's good. She likes Hagrid.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I saw an announcement for the new Harry Potter HBO original series.
Mm-hmm.
They cast who's the main wizard?
Dumbledore.
Yeah, they cast Dumbledore. You know who it is? Did you guys see this?
I did see it.
Gary Oldman.
No, he was in the original Harry Potter as
Oh yeah,
Sirius Black. Yeah.
Sirius Black. That's right.
So are all old actors disqualified from the new show?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Did you say you did see who it was though, Pat?
I did see.
Mike, do you want to take another guess?
I don't.
He is not normally known for having a long flowing beard, I don't believe.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to grow one, or they're gonna use CGI,
Or just have a short bearded Dumbledore.
Oh, that's true. They could do that.
Yeah.
Who?
Pat. It's Harry and the Hendersons, Third Rock from the Sun. What's his name, Pat? Come on.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Huh. All right.
Which, if you haven't seen John Lithgow lately, Mike, it's pretty. He's
Looks good.
why he doesn't exactly look like Dumbledore, but he's aging. You know. Yeah.
Hey, this was my other one to choose from, but I'll wait. Yes, or I'm just going to open it.
What is it?
Spider-Man trading cards.
What? I've never even seen it. Where'd you go? Those Target?
I can't even remember.
Oh,
Walmart,
Pat,
maybe.
that's something I meant to tell you.
I don't know.
Sorry,
6
Mike.
cards. Look for original art sketch.
Where'd you get it? Did you say where'd you got it though from?
Either Target or Walmart. I can't remember which one.
I've seen them at Target for sure.
I haven't seen those at all, especially.
I forgot. I bought them and stuck them up in the cabinet and completely forgot about them.
Dadgum. Are you opening them now?
Yeah.
I wanted to vent this to you real quick, Pat. Man, Pat, I feel like the end of an era has officially happened for at least me in my heart, it seems.
Oh
no. Back in the day, and not so far back in the day of our adulthood back in the day, but just younger adulthood, especially when Toys R Us was still around, you'd have a whole aisle, both sides, all Star Wars, right? Well, I went into my Walmart.
Right, I'll show them Brother Voodoo.
Oh
They're,
yeah.
they're foil.
Oh nice. Oh, that's nice.
Like that's foil, yeah.
But I officially went into my Walmart, or actually no, do the same thing as Mike. It was my Target, okay, Mike or Pat?
Yeah.
And I went into the
You can keep talking. I'm just gonna hold them up.
Star Wars aisle, right?
Yeah.
And there was literally maybe a spot like as big as my laptop, maybe just a little bit bigger, on the bottom two shelves of Star Wars at the Micro Machine Action Fleet or whatever. And above they had the Star Wars sign that should have Star Wars stuff underneath, and it was a bunch of Marvel and Spider-Man and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
They literally had like no Star Wars. It's like, you got to be kidding me. It's heartbreaking. Remember what it was like? I mean, you'd have a whole aisle of a million options of everything you could ever want from all Star Wars. And now we have more Star Wars than ever. That's what's even crazier is that it's not like Star Wars is this, you know, it's a has-been thing and the new kids aren't going to, whatever. There's more Star Wars content than there ever has been. And there's new Star Wars content coming. And the Star Wars toy line is dead. How does that happen? I feel like the Star Wars toy line defined toy lines, you know, when it first started. How did we come so far? You know what I mean, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it may just be an isolated case or cases because.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's in my store. What are you still seeing an aisle or it's still really minimal though, right?
Yeah, the days of them occupying a whole aisle are long gone, but they definitely still have a presence in my Target and Walmart still.
Would you say at least half an aisle or less than that or about that? What do you think?
It's probably Target's probably like a 4 to 6 foot section. Walmart's a little bigger, probably 8 to 10.
That's still so small relative to yeah.
Sure.
It just seems insane with how it's still relevant. There's more of it than ever. How did it go to that? I don't know. It's the prices, right? That's what it has to be, right, Mike? I mean, they priced themselves out of kids being able to grab this stuff for their allowance, right?
Yeah, prices are what determines a lot of stuff. And that's why I like action figures, but I just can't bring myself to buy them. The price.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Did you get any cool card? I saw you had one cool card that was a foil and a regular.
Yeah. So this is a gold numbered 11 of 33. And this is just a regular silver. Whoops. A Black Panther. So that's cool. These are cool cards. I like these. The Black Panther,
they are cool.
Up for like $35. But yeah, these are cool. I wouldn't mind a whole set of these. Let me see if anybody's selling a set. I'm not gonna buy it.
Half the fun is buying packs to get it all yourself.
Yeah, but you gotta find them. $100. Somebody has a complete one set with bonus.
Good.
There's a set 1 through 75 for $65. Pack fresh is advertised. Nice.
Did you say did you say a recap or did you want to say any recappy thing, Mike?
Yeah, if you've got the Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger sitting on your desk to read, go ahead and read it. Don't be discouraged by the confusion.
Yeah.
It's worth it to sort it out. Or maybe it was just me. Because I went into it wrong. You see the first character and you apply the wrong who you think it is to it, and everything's confusing from there.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the game, right? Yeah, you identify it wrong, you get proven differently. It's kind of I think as good as if you guessed correctly from the begin with, So yeah. But I wasn't wrong about Venom. They sucked. The latest one sucked. I don't recommend it. Go check out some free streaming stuff that's original now, and nothing short of paradise either from Mike. So
yeah.
All right, Pat. Do you have anything else?
Just if you ever wanted, if Mike Mignola has ever intrigued you, don't be afraid to give him a chance. Something fresh, something new, but yet something still familiar for longtime fans. And price tag might scare you off a little bit. Maybe you can get it on a discount somewhere. So, Bowling with Corpses and other strange tales from lands unknown.
That's another thing. We covered a lot of alien stuff today and a lot of cool long titles.
Yeah. No, wait, was somebody else supposed to unwrap something?
Karen.
Oh, crap. Yeah, crap. Sorry about it, Karen. Karen's coming in. Thanks for the reminder, Pat. Sorry about it, Karen. She's all ready. Karen, you're up on screen now. We're ready. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
Well, I decided I'm going to unwrap my Care Bear monsters because during the pick spree, monsters got no love, equally got no book.
Nice.
But I got my scissors. Hold on. No, wait. All right.
You're gonna ruin your teeth.
Yeah.
All right. Now my options are Frankenstein's Bride, Dracula, Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
These are Care Bears?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I can't wait to see this.
On a keychain.
Oh, so that's the Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Creature. Okay. Yeah. It's like, who is that? Oh, yeah.
Those are pretty cool. The Care Bears making a comeback?
Yeah.
They're trying.
They're trying, yeah. I should say they're trying. And the only recap I have is if you decide to watch Elevation, end it at the last 5 minutes and make up your own ending.
Yes.
There you go. Nice.
There you go. Thank you, Karen.
This is a test. Tyler, if you text me at any time that you want the Moon Knight card, I'll give it to you. In a case. I'll put it in a little magnetic cool case. Okay, free. But you got to watch the show to find out that it's available for you.
I like that, Mike. Although I think he has been catching up lately because he's texting me random stuff. And I don't know if this ever happens to you. Johnny's done it a couple of times too, where you get a random message referencing a point in the show, especially if they're like a couple episodes behind, and you're like, wait, what was that? When did that happen? That kind of thing,
Yeah.
So.
And then what the rest of these, unless you want them, Kevin, or anybody, like this one, this battle one, like people are listening to this for like $14.
Wow.
The Black Panther, like $40, whatever. I'm not going to get the whole set, so I have no reason to keep any of the other cards. So maybe we'll put them in a little top loader and randomly insert them in like some eBay buys or some whatnot things.
All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
So I'll set this one aside for Tyler. The rest will go to whatnot and eBay.
I was definitely thinking about that a lot more, especially since sales have been picking up a little bit, that it'd be cool. Some stuff that we know aren't moving. Karen will take Moon Knight if Ty fails to mention it. Karen, you're cheating for your nephew because you know what she's going to do with it if she gets it.
Gift it to him.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
She's shaking her head no. She's saying that's not what it's about. Okay. But anyway, yeah, the sales have been doing a lot better as of late for both Whatnot and eBay. So, adding some extra stuff in there that, really isn't, list worthy or it hasn't moved that we've had for a long time. That's a good way to, get some people some free stuff. And who doesn't like an unexpected free cool surprise?
Yep.
In something you purchase. Because it's impossible to be a bad thing. You're either going to like it and appreciate it, but if you hate it, you just throw it away with the shipping,
right,
cost or whatever. Yeah, So anyway, all right, that'll do it. Yeah, this show has been a little bit longer. I think I started that trend. I apologize. I'm a talker. So let's get this completed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications. We'd really appreciate it. Follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok. And then please check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics as well. And watch our shows on the Whatnot app. Had a pretty good show this past week. I've got another show scheduled for tomorrow night. You can go ahead and bookmark that now if it happens tomorrow night or not. If you bookmark it, no matter when I move it, you'll definitely know. And I haven't moved anything more than a week. Moved a couple shows a couple times, but nothing more than a week away. So it'll definitely be within the next week if you bookmark it for tomorrow. And then you can help support the show and everything we do and plan to do through Patreon at patreon.com/XcellarComics. And you can actually you can join our next live stream, our next regular live stream on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook on Saturday, March 15th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing our regular live stream every 2 weeks at this point. And then what I started to mention was voting. We've got Cover Combat 11 going on right now. You can check on the episode round 2. That's the latest episode, right, Mike?
Yep.
Of course, on YouTube and Facebook. And then you can see the Cover Combat posts on Facebook. Vote on that. We'd really appreciate that. Check out everything we've got going on with Cover Combat. We give prizes away there, too, for the future. And then you can watch Cover Combat 11, Pick 3 Edition, Round 3, next Monday, March 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing the live stream every other week and the Cover Combat shows every other week as well in between the live stream. So you'll still have our regular show, I should say. So you'll still have a show to watch every single week so you don't miss us too much. Right, Pat?
Right.
All right. Did you guys have anything else?
No.
Karen. Wait, what?
I said, that's all it?
Okay. You've done that a few times where you say no, and then you interject something that you remembered the second after you say no.
Not today.
Not today. Karen, was that clap that you don't have anything else? All right, cool. We really appreciate everybody checking us out. Check out all our content. We'd appreciate that as well. Come to the shows. I would personally appreciate that. And until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is a lot of fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.